It's almost time to rally in the valley. But first, it's the Matsu Miners pregame show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts.
Good evening and welcome inside Herman Brothers Field here in Palmer, Alaska. The final game of the season series between the Peninsula Oilers and the Matsu Miners. I'm Austin Pollock. Emma Tiedemann to my right as always. Last night's game, well, they're going to try to get this one in. Yesterday's game went 2 innings against the Alaska Gold Panthers and then called due to rain. That will be made up. That'll be part of a doubleheader on July 22nd, a 4 o'clock game, and then a 6 o'clock game against the Panthers. And then on the 23rd, the following day, the two teams will play again at Herman Brothers at 12 o'clock. That is in the afternoon. At midnight, that is possible, but no, they're going to go with in the afternoon. So the rain has stopped, but there are some dark clouds over the ballpark tonight, and it looks like they're still going to be able to get this one in. And something I noticed, actually, Emma, there's really not much to talk about yesterday's game, obviously, but really the Miners got off to a very slow start. 3-1 as we started that top of the third, which never actually happened. But Ben Taylor and his team had a very interesting discussion after last night's game. And it looks like we kind of see somewhat of a new team, actually, today. They're much looser, much more confident, and all the starters, as far as I know, are wearing eye black. Maybe trying to get something going to spark some sort of team excitement and just say, hey, you know what? Let's get out of this funk and let's just start winning games. Let's go out there and start having fun.
That's totally right. And, they seem like they're having fun again, and it's just a game of baseball. You go through these kind of slumps. You lose a few games in a row, and, you never mess with a winning streak, but when it comes to a losing streak, you'll just try whatever you want. Change things up, see what'll work, what'll get the team going right on the right track again. But I mean, last night through 2 innings, they were down 3-1. But on the bright side of things, Panachone with a leadoff walk ended up scoring the 1 run for the Miners. So it wasn't all bad, but it was just kind of a rough start. And yeah, I think that it's definitely kind of a different team and a more relaxed team, I think, today.
And we're almost ready to go. Ben Taylor and Kyle Richardson, the managers for the Oilers and the Miners, getting ready. They're exchanging their lineup cards at home plate. Miners in the green tops today. And we get to see Sevi Romo get the start again. We have seen him start before. This is just another one of those sort of spot starts where you're just trying to find a pitcher who gives this team the best chance to win. And Sevi's 2-2 with a 5.02 ERA. He started one game. That was on the 30th against the Pilots. Got the loss. Went 4 2/3, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 6 hits, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And really, he pitched pretty well. He put his team in a position to win.
Yeah, definitely. And, we've seen these kind of spot starts. Serrano was on the mound yesterday, but, we saw Stubblefield before that. I think that there's a few, definite starters for this Miners team, but these spot starters such as Sevi Romo, we saw John Reed had an excellent start for the Miners, and I think these spot starts are really what is going to, kind of get this team on the right track again and really, has a big part in this Miners game.
Yeah, well, this is the last meeting between the Miners and the Oilers of the season. And for the Oilers, they will send the righty Tyler Gibson, the 6'4" right-hander from Oklahoma. They will send him to the mound tonight. We saw him actually on July 4th. That was down in Kenai. He got the win in 2/3 of an innings, didn't give up any hits, any runs. He walked 1 and didn't strike anybody out. And let's just, before we get things going here for the pregame ceremonies here in Palmer, let's bring you the Oilers starting lineup. Jake Samlin will lead it off. He's in center field from Georgia College. Jordan Sanford bats second in left field. Alex Rubanowitz bats third. He's at third. Miles Jones is the shortstop from Cal State Bakersfield. He bats fourth. Ethan McGill from Incarnate Word bats fifth at first base. Nick Thurman is the designated hitter batting sixth. A.J. Hernandez from UNLV bats seventh at second base. Drake Zarate bats eighth behind the plate. And Josh Rose is the right fielder batting ninth. He is from the University of Utah. College teammates of Hunter Simmons and Hunter Rodriguez. And actually, someone that's really interesting and seems to be really hot in this Miners lineup, which we'll bring you in just a little bit. 5 RBIs in the last 2 games. He has it's been Dane Wonderlick, and he just seems to really be on top of everything. And it seems like he's really played well. And we actually caught up to him before the game, and the match you that right now.
Available at Beer Shack.
Welcome back to the Matsu Miners pregame show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. It's time for today's pregame profiles. Today we're with Dane Wonderlick. Dane, how are you?
I'm pretty good. Good weather out here.
So recently off that last road trip down to Kenai, you split the series with the Oilers, but it's a little bit of a different experience traveling, staying overnight, and the Bingo Hilton must have been a little bit of a different atmosphere, environment for you guys.
Yeah, the Bingo Hilton, we've heard a lot before we went down there. I mean, it's pretty famous, or as you like to say, infamous around here, but the guys had a good time. I mean, it helped that BT let us go pretty early in the morning. I think we left at like 7 in the morning, so we stopped on the way, got settled in there pretty early, and really wasn't too big of a deal that we were on the road.
So there's a lot of talent on this team, especially in the outfield, and kind of like BT has a little bit of a hard time penciling everybody in there for everyday play and just a little bit of trying to get everybody their playing time. But it seems like whenever you're in there, you seem to get the job done.
Yeah, I just take everything a day at a time, just working hard, getting your swings in. I mean, you can't really take a day off. I mean, and with your mind, you have to stay mentally tuned in all the time. You just can't take a day off.
At 5 RBIs in your last 2 games, what's been going for you?
I've changed some stuff up to play. I've changed my load, my batting stance up a little bit, and it just seems to be flowing, staying loose, and I'm easy at the plate.
How do you like the wildlife here? Let's switch things up a little bit.
Wildlife is awesome. Me and Mitchell now, we go fishing all the time. I mean, it's probably actually, I mean, it's pretty much all we do when we're not at the baseball field. So.
You woke up one morning, there was a moose, did you say, in the backyard?
I did wake up one morning, there was a moose in my backyard. I walked outside to throw something off the balcony of my last house, and there was a moose and 2 baby calves outside, and that was pretty weird. But it happens. We're in Alaska.
Dane, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Dane Wonderlick on the Matsu Miners pregame show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts.
All right, Dane. We're just about ready to get things going here. Let's send you inside Herman Brothers Field to public address announcer Wolfgang Winter.
Josh Rose. Starting pitcher for the Peninsula Oilers out of Worcester, Oklahoma, number 8, Tyler Gibson. Please welcome the coaching staff, head coach Kyle Richardson, pitching coach Brian Bache, and assistant coaches Ray McIntyre and John Kennedy. Don't worry about it. And now to the lineups for your Matsu Miners. From Peoria, Arizona, and leading off the shortstop, number 3, Paul Pancione. Batting second, right fielder out of Roseburg, Oregon, number 14, Cam Newell. Out of Burien, Washington, and batting third, the DH, number 12, Johnny Loker. In the cleanup spot, the catcher out of Mission Viejo, California, number 24, Josh Meyer. Out of Tumwater, Washington, batting fifth, center fielder, number 22, Cameron Frost. Batting sixth and playing first base out of Portland, Oregon, number 28, Matt Decker. Batting seventh, second baseman out of Roseville, California, number 4, Nick Blazer. In the eighth spot, number 26, third baseman out of Garden City, New York, Terrence Conley. And batting ninth, number 9, left fielder out of Brenham, Texas, Dane Wonderlick. On the mound for the Miners out of Fullerton, California, number 8, Semi Romo. Please welcome the coaches, head coach Mr. Ben Taylor, pitching coach Mr. Brad Baker, and assistant coach Mr. Sean Winston. At this time, folks, we ask you to please rise, remove your head cover, and face the flag behind the center field fence as we honor America and the freedoms we enjoy with the singing of our national anthem by Palmer Fred.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam? Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we walked,
With championships in 2004, 2007, 2009, and 2010, the Miners are looking to bring a title back.
This is the longest championship drought in 10 seasons.
8 former Miners selected in the 2014 MLB draft, and head coach Ben Taylor is back for another season of baseball in the Valley.
Here we go. Matsu Miners Baseball on the Miners Radio Network.
2-0 pitch swung on, lifted to center field. Charging is Frost. Frost makes a diving catch. What a play by the center fielder.
Sent out to deep right, going back is James Navant at the wall. He will watch it go.
High fly ball down the third base side, going back for it. It's at the wall. Smith rounds first, heads to second, but it's in there standing for a leadoff double.
Here's the pitch. Swing, a high fly ball out to deep left. Back goes Adam Manzer. It's gone! A grand slam, and the Miners walk off with the win! Johnny Loker, welcome to the Valley!
And now, the voice of the Miners, Austin Pollock and Emma Tiedemann on the call right now.
Thank you so much, Hunter Simmons. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock. And the Miners take the field in this cloudy condition again at Herman Brothers, facing the Peninsula Oilers out of Kenai. Yesterday's game had to be called after 2 innings of play because it started to rain again, and Herman Brothers was already just soaking wet because there was a nice rain that moved through Palmer yesterday morning, but field is nice and dry again here, but the clouds are moving in. It's a little cloudy, 66 degrees and beautiful, and the Miners will take on the Oilers. Sevi Romo out of San Diego on the mound for them. Romo pitching to Josh Meyer, the Miner. First up for the Oilers is Sandlin, the left fielder. Center fielder. Sevi sets. Here's the first pitch. Low ball 1. Sandlin checks in with a 289 average, 12 RBIs, 5 doubles, 1 triple.
Sandlin has 5 walks in his last 4 games.
1-0 pitch. High and outside, ball 2 for Sevi. Sevi with a 2-2 record, 14 1/3 innings pitched, has given up 21 hits, 9 runs, 8 of those earned, 5 walks, 13 strikeouts. 2-0 pitch. Swung on, lifted into deep left, back goes Wunderlich. And it's at the wall. It bounces off the wall. Sandlin rounds first, heads into second. Wunderlich picks it up on the third base side, and that's a leadoff double for the Oilers.
Yeah, that ball just kept carrying and carrying. It definitely had a shot to get out of here, but that ball just kept carrying. I think the wind helped it just a tad bit, but and Wunderlich was playing that, just kept on going.
Yeah, I thought he was maybe watching it go out of the park there, but just hit the wall for the leadoff double, and that brings up Sanford, the left fielder. Sanford, the lefty. And the first run of the game at second base. Sevi looks in, sets. First pitch swung right back to Romo on the mound. Quick throw to Decker at first, and that's the first out of the game.
Great heads-up play by Sevi Romo. Sandlin has speed at second base, and he's a little sneaky over there. He wants to make sure that Sandlin's not going anywhere. Excellent heads-up play.
Brings up Alex Urbanowitz. Urbanowitz, a junior at UC Riverside. A lefty, and you'll see a lot of lefties in this lineup for the Oilers. A lot of lefties who throw right. Urbanowitz at third base today. Sandlin on second still for the Oilers. Sevi sets. First pitch, low and inside, ball 1 to Urbanowitz.
6 out of the 9 men in the order for the Oilers bat left-handed.
Urbanowitz steps back into the batter's box. Romo keeping an eye on Sandlin. 1-0 pitch, low and in the dirt, ball 2. Urbanowitz with 1 home run, 8 RBIs, 2 doubles, hitting .302 on the season. Steps back in, taps the plate with his bat. 2 balls, no strikes, and 1 out. Pitched by Romo, inside, ball 3. Now Urbanowitz up in the count, and Romo down, 3 balls, no strikes. Romo actually has yet to throw a strike. Here in the 3rd batter in the top of the 1st. Miners and Oilers tied at 0. Romo sets, 3-0 pitch. Outside and away for ball 4. That is the first walk of the game for Romo, and that puts another base runner on with Urbanowitz at first with a walk and Sandlin at second, who had the leadoff double. That brings up Miles Jones, the shortstop. Miles bats on the right side of the plate.
Jones from Cal State Bakersfield. Just finished his sophomore year from Palmdale, California.
First pitch to Jones. Gets away behind Meyer, and the runners will advance. Sandlin to 3rd and Urbanowitz to 2nd. They advance on the pass ball. And Meyer heads out to the mound to talk things over with Romo. Romo still yet to throw a strike. Sandlin hit the leadoff double with a 2-0 count. Sanford swung at the first pitch and grounded out. Urbanowitz was walked with a 3-0 count. Now Jones with a 1-0 count.
Defensive alignment for the Miners. Terrence Connolly at 3rd, Paul Panachone at short, Nick Blazer at 2nd, Matt Decker from Stanford at 1st, Dane Wunderlich in left field, Cameron Frost in center, Cam Newell in right, and Josh Meyer catching for Sevi Romo.
1-0 pitch by Romo. Inside and high, ball 2. Romo having to find that strike zone, and I think once he throws a called strike, I think we'll see him relax a little bit. Maybe be more accurate than right now. 2-0 pitch by Romo. Swung on, foul back, strike 1. Jones with 12 RBIs and 4 doubles, hitting .290 and is very quick around the base path.
9 stolen bases. He's 5 for 14 against the Miners this summer, and he was 1 for 2 in Saturday's game against the Miners down in Kenai.
2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball off the foot of the umpire. It just bounced off the umpire, and it's like the runners might have to go back. Yeah, the home plate umpire, Mays, motioning for the runners, Sandlin and Urbanowitz, to go back to their bases. And Jones is going to be credited with the single. So now the bases are loaded for Romo.
That's going to bring the head coach of the Oilers, Kyle Richardson, out to figure out perhaps what's going on here and why his runners weren't allowed to score. He's chatting with home plate umpire Robert Mays.
So that has Sandlin on 3rd, staying on 3rd. There's no further argument by the Oilers. So Sandlin is at 3rd, Urbanowitz at 2nd, and Jones on 1st. And at the plate, Ethan McGill. McGill, the lefty. He is at first base tonight out of Penn Valley, California, junior at University of Incarnate Word, a teammate of the other Matt Decker on the team, the left-handed pitcher for the Miners. Teammate at Incarnate Word in San Antonio, Texas. Romo sets, pitch to McGill, called strike. First called strike of the game for Romo.
You know, McGill has struggled a little bit this summer. I mean, 197 He's patient. He's having 7 walks in his last 6 games, but Norman needs to get this guy out.
Breaking ball high and away, ball 1.
Example right there. That breaking ball just missed, and those are command problems that can really be avoided. It's tough, though, in a spot start. Sometimes, I don't know really how much of a spot start it was, but it's tough when you're not really a starter.
1-1 pitch, fastball low and away, ball 2. McGill with 11 RBIs and 2 doubles. As you said, hitting 197. Outfield playing straight away for the Miners. Frost in center, Wunderlich in left, Newell in right. Big swing for strike 2 by Ethan McGill. Evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 away. Sanford, the second batter here in the top of the first, grounded out to Romo. That's the only out so far in the inning.
That was a hard hit ball, too.
2-2 pitch. Swung on, ground ball to Nick Blazer. Quick flip to Panachone at second for 1 out. Makes a throw to first to Matt Decker for the second. And that's a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on as we head to the bottom of the first. The Miners and Oilers are tied at 0. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
If your car needs a new taillight or just any sort of nut, bolt, or screw, be sure to visit the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com.
Scoreless through the first half of the first inning, bringing up Paul Panachone for the Miners. Savvy Romo in the top of the first got out a full bases loaded situation with a double play. And that brings up Paul Panachone for the Miners. Pitch high and inside for ball 1. Panachone 326 on the season. 1-0 pitch swung on and fouled back behind us. Panachone with 11 RBIs, 8 doubles, and 1 triple.
Paul's hit in 8 of his last 10 games, and he's also reached base in 23 of his 25 games.
1-1 pitch. Low and away, ball 2. Pitcher for the Oilers is Tyler Gibson out of Oklahoma University, a Sooner. 2-1 pitch, swung on, lifted into deep right field. Going back for it is Rose. At the wall, Panachone rounds first, heads into second. And now leadoff double as the throw is over the head of Jones. The shortstop rolls over to the third baseman, Urbanowitz. And now Panachone standing on second, waves back to the Miners dugout. And another leadoff double now for the Miners. Oilers had a leadoff double as well in the top of the first, but Savvy Romo and his infield teammates were able to prevent that run from scoring. See if the Miners can Bat Panachone in with Cam Newell, the right fielder, at the plate. Newell out of UC Santa Barbara, hitting .386, 5 home runs, 23 RBIs, and 5 doubles.
That was the 9th double of the summer for Panachone. Leads the minors in that category.
First pitch to Newell, and they're called strike.
You know, something about the minors that I noticed that Ben Taylor does, and he said this to me, you bat your best hitter in that number 2 spot, and for a guy like Paul Panachone in that leadoff spot who now gets on base and you have your best hitter at the plate, good chance take that early lead and drive him in.
Gibson looks in. 0-1 pitch, blown away, ball 1. Newell out in right field tonight in his usual spot with 23 RBIs. His stats just always are just so impressive, I think. 23 RBIs, 5 home runs, just doing an outstanding job here with the minors. 1-1 pitch, foul down the third base side, strike 2.
Well, he's first or second in most of those offensive categories. His .386 average is 4th in the ABL. He's tied for first in home runs, and tied for second, and his RBI is 23. That's second, and it's really the Anchorage Bucks that sort of hold those top spots in every offensive category.
Gibson sets with the 1-2 count. Quick check at Panachone. Here's the pitch. Swung on again. That pitch was high and outside, but Newell swung at it anyway and fouled it back. Stays alive with the 1-2 count.
During batting practice today, Ben Taylor was actually telling Cam Newell to sort of slow down that swing and that turn. Seems like it's just so quick. He's got to slow it down. Might have a little bit more control of the bat.
1-2 pitch by Gibson. Low, ball 2. Outfield for the Oilers, Sanford in left, Sandlin in right, Sandlin in center, and Rose in right. Urbanowitz at third, Jones shortstop, Hernandez at second, and McGill on first with Zarate catching for Gibson. 2-2 pitch, high and away, ball 3. Newell now working the full count after being down 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gibson sets. Quick check at Panachone at second. Panachone with the lead. 3-2 pitch. Swung on. Foul back again. Third foul ball of this at-bat for Newell.
7th pitch, actually, of the at-bat for Newell, and he'll work that count. He'll wait till he gets the right pitch. He'll make the pitcher work. He'll make the pitcher throw a lot of pitches. Most of the time, he'll hurt the pitcher. Whether it's by getting hits off of him or RBIs, or even making him throw a lot of pitches.
Gibson sets with the 3-2 count. Delivers. Swung on, ground ball up into right field. Panachone holds at third, and Newell with the single.
Excellent piece of hitting right there for Cam Newell. Just pulled that ball right between that gap between the second and first baseman, and that's just what you want to do. You want to move Panachone to third.
That is 2 hits in a row for the Miners now. Panachone had a double to lead things off. Newell with a single, moving Panachone to third, and it brings up the designated hitter Johnny Loker out of Stanford. Loker, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, 3 doubles, and haven't seen him in the past week or so, but lately he's been striking out a lot, just so very eager to be back playing. And swings at the first pitch, and that's fouled on the third base side.
Oh, you could see Johnny, he wanted that. But Ben Taylor just, hey, get back in that batter's box and just keep swinging the bat, do what you do.
Johnny, very excited to be back hitting and, in the lineup again, but sometimes that eagerness hurts him. We've seen him strike out a lot. Struck out 3 times against the Oilers.
6 strikeouts in his last 12 at-bats.
0-1 pitch, blown away, ball 1 to Loker. Loker hitting .406, the best on the Miners team. Second is Newell hitting .386. 1 ball, 1 strike, and no outs here in the bottom of the first. Pitch, swung on, foul, high fly ball. And that is strike 2. And actually, our host brothers are chasing it.
They are?
Yep. I just saw them go after it.
You've got the better view of third base. I have the better view at first base.
1-2 count now for Loker. Runners on the corners, still scoreless. here in the bottom of the first, 0-0. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, foul ball down the first base side this time, and looked like he was swinging but then decided not to, but hit it anyway, and it kind of rolled off his bat.
I think that went in the Miners' dugout.
Huh.
Right in front of that top step, usually where Ben Taylor and Brad Baker stand.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Loker. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Gibson checks at first. Pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3 for Johnny Loker. First strikeout of the game for Tyler Gibson in the first out here in the bottom of the first. And that brings up Josh Meyer. Josh Meyer, the Miner, catching tonight for Sevy. Meyer, we've seen him really improve over the past about week or so. Hitting .327, 1 home run, 3 RBIs, 3 doubles, and 1 triple.
Yeah, you're right. He's on a 5-game hitting streak. He's really feeling well. Right, he's feeling good right now.
First pitch, right over the plate, strike 1.
Myers 9 for 18 during that streak. 2 doubles and a triple. That triple came against the Oilers. That was during that doubleheader last weekend.
0-1 pitch by Gibson. Swung on, ground ball to the first baseman. McGill pops out of his glove, but he will tag up at first. But Panachone able to run home for the first run of the game. Miners now lead bottom of the first, 1-0 over the Oilers. Newell now at second, and Panachone scored. Brings up Cameron Frost, the center fielder. Frost batting in that 5th position. We've seen him lead off. First pitch, swung on, lifted into right center. Charging is Rose. Makes the catch, and that's out number 3. But damage has been done here early on for the Miners. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on as we head to the top of the second. The Miners lead the Oilers 1-0. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Miners spend their mornings lifting, running, and staying in shape by visiting the Alaska Club. Visit them in Anchorage, Eagle River, Fairbanks, Juneau, and the Matsu Valley. Visit www.thealaskaclub.com.
Top of the second, and the Miners lead the Oilers 1-0 early on in this game. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock. And Nick Thurman due up for the Oilers. Sevy Romo still on the mound. First pitch, in there called strike. See Thurman, Hernandez, and Zarate here in the top of the second for the Oilers. For 0-1 pitch inside, ball 1. Nick Thurman out of Bellchase, Louisiana, sophomore at Louisiana Lafayette. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball in there called strike. Thurman hitting .222, 1 home run, 8 RBIs, 1 triple.
Sevy's fastball is hit 90 tonight.
1-2 pitch by Romo. Swung on, ground ball to Panachone, the shortstop, bobbles it, loses track of it, And Thurman able to reach base. Brings up Hernandez. Hernandez at second base tonight.
Now batting second baseman number 50, A.J. Hernandez.
Official scoring. Thurman reached on the error. E6 by Panachone, the shortstop. A.J. Hernandez. Another bats left, throws right player for the Oilers. First pitch swung on, lifted into deep right center. Going back is Frost, and is caught over his shoulder. And what a play. Hernandez makes it all the way around to third. But Frost, with that speed, able to catch it over his shoulder. What a play.
Ladies and gentlemen, is what you call defense.
And it looks like Hernandez
Number 19, Brent
is heading back to the dugout. So there are now no base runners on for the Oilers. We're going to double check exactly why that is, and that brings up Zarate. Zarate doing the catching tonight. First pitch swung on and foul down the third base side, foul. Zarate out of Norco, California, bats left, throws right. A junior out of UC Riverside. Oh, 1 count for Zarate. Here's the pitch by Romo. High and outside, ball one, excuse me.
Now we figured out what happened to Thurman. I think we were both watching Frost so carefully. Thurman was all the way at third base, and he didn't tag. So he was actually out at first base because he thought it was a hit.
1-1 pitch in there called strike. So they tagged him?
No, Frost threw it in. I think I don't know if actually Nick Blazer caught it or if it was 8-3 on the putout or if it was 8-4-3. I think it was actually 8-3. I'm going to change that.
1-2 pitch swung on, slow roller to Conley, the third baseman, scooped up, throw to first, and that's the third out. 3 up, 3 down inning for the Matsu Miners. No runs, no hits, and 1 error, nobody left on as we head to the bottom of the second. The Miners lead 1-0. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Bottom of the second here at Herman Brothers. Miners lead 1-0 after just a great 2 outings for Romo and also Cameron Frost and the entire Miners defense, really. Thurman reached on an error, but then A.J. Hernandez hit a deep ball into right center. Frost with an over-the-shoulder catch, and then Drake Zarate grounded out. And at the plate is Matt Decker. Rolls fair on the third base side with a leadoff single.
That was a very difficult play, actually, for the third baseman, Rubanowitz, to read. I mean, you kind of just waited for it, and it's always unfortunate because you know you're doing the right thing. You don't just pick up the ball because if it goes foul, I mean, it goes foul. But that's a tough play, and sometimes it just doesn't go your way.
So now Decker with the leadoff single. Panachone had a leadoff double in the first and scored off of that. Miners really take advantage of those leadoff hits and leadoff walks. Brings up Nick Blazer. Swung at the first pitch, grounded to second baseman Hernandez, bobbles it, makes it throw to second, throw to first, gets behind the first baseman, and Decker is out, but Blazer is safe at first with the 4-6 put out. And Blazer reaches on the single.
Now batting, your third baseman, number 26, Terrence.
Brings up Terrence Conley, the third baseman. Conley out of UNC Wilmington. And his father is actually up here in Alaska visiting. We got to talk with him last night. Saw him again today at the ball field, watched batting practice. First pitch to Conley. Little low, ball one. Conley was 6 RBIs, 3 doubles, one of which was a walk-off win double, heading to 44.
That was on July 1st against the Pilots.
Gibson sets. Swung on back to Gibson and gets past the second baseman. Ground ball up into center field. Blazer round second, head to the third. The throw in, slides, and is safe. Conley with a double again, and Blazer makes it all the way around to third. Now 2 runners in scoring position for the Miners and only 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Brings up Dane Wunderlich. Wunderlich very good in these types of situations with runners in scoring position. Wunderlich with 1 home run, 9 RBIs, 5 doubles, 1 triple. Blazer on third, Conley on second. Miners lead 1-0. First pitch by Gibson, lifted deep into left center, going back for it is Sanford. Still chasing after it, diving catch, won't be able to hold on to it. Blazer is safe at home, Conley rounds third. Wunderlich stays at second. He can't tell that Sanford still has not gotten the ball. And so Dane Wunderlich with a 2-run RBI double. And the Miners now are ahead 3-0 early on.
See, this is what Ben Taylor wants. This is what the Miners want. They want to score early and not be down early.
That's 3 hits in a row now for the Miners, and it brings us back to the top of the order to Paul Panachone. Panachone with the leadoff double in the top of the bottom of the first and scored a run. First pitch by Gibson, low and away, ball 1. Wunderlich with the lead off of second. Here in the bottom of the second inning, Miners just are outstanding. 4 hits so far in this inning alone. Gibson sets the 1-0 pitch. Big swing, strike 1 to Panachone. Gibson looks into Zarate. Sets. The 1-1 pitch. Lifted in the infield. Going back for it is Hernandez. And that's actually going to be the first baseman calls for it and makes a catch for out number 2. Brings up Cam Newell 1 for 1 with a single.
Now batting, your right fielder, number 14, Cam Newell.
Wunderlich still on second for the Miners. Newell with 5 home runs, 23 RBIs, 5 doubles. Newell the lefty. Gibson with his eye on Wunderlich. Delivers first pitch inside, ball 1, and Newell had to kind of step back out of the way of that one. Very inside pitch. by Gibson. Newell out of UC Santa Barbara, playing in right field. Gibson sets. Steps off. And Newell stepped out of the batter's box.
Pretty good crowd here.
Oh, yeah. It's a great day for some baseball.
A little cold.
I'm trying not to think about it. 1-0 pitch. High outside, ball 2. I forgot my jacket today.
Yeah, you're struggling.
No, I'm not. Not yet. That's why I'm trying not to think about it. So far, so good. 2 balls, no strikes, and 2 away here. Bottom of the second. Miners lead 3-0. 2-0 pitch. Called strike.
Yeah, Gibson not looking as sharp tonight as he did back on the 4th of July down in Kenai. He pitched 2/3 of an inning and actually got the win. Not as sharp.
No, definitely not as sharp. Or the Miners are just better with their bats tonight. 2-0 pitch outside, ball 3.
I see these bats much more patient, and they're swinging at the right pitches, and they're hitting to the right part of the field.
Newell worked the count full at his last at bat in the first. Gibson sets for the 3-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled back. Strike 2, another full count situation for Cam Newell. Outfield playing straight away for the Oilers. Jones, the shortstop, playing behind Panachone. Hernandez, the second baseman, playing on the outfield grass. Gibson gets the sign from Zarate. 3-2 pitch. Inside, ball 4. That puts another runner on the base path for the Miners. Wunderlich at second, Newell at first, and up comes Johnny Loker. Loker 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Loker, the designated hitter tonight, batting in the 3rd spot. Righty versus righty here with Loker, the right-handed batter, and Gibson, the right-handed pitcher. Wunderlich and Newell both with leads off of first and second. Gibson sets. Quick check at second. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball low and away, ball 1. Loker out of Stanford, teammate of Matt Decker, also at Stanford. One 0 pitch to Loker. Runner goes at third. Wunderlich with the slide. He's out. Caught stealing for the 3rd out of the inning. So Loker will take things over in the bottom of the 3rd, but 2-run score off of 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on as we head to the top of the 3rd. The Miners lead 3-0 over the Oilers. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Miners lead the Oilers 3-0 as we start at the the top of the third inning. Big inning where the Miners scored two runs in the bottom of the second. Two-run double for Dane Wunderlich. He continues just to stay hot. You can check out our pregame profile on him today. That's on our YouTube page. Josh Rose stands in for his first at-bat of the night against the righty Sevi Romo. First pitch breaking ball is low for ball one. Rose checks in, 244, 2 homers, 11 RBIs.
Rose, a roommate of Hunter Simmons on the Miners at Utah.
Second pitch is low for ball 2, 2-0.
Simmons and Rose, along with Rodriguez, are all freshmen out of the University of Utah.
2-0 pitch to Rose. Low and in, 3-0. Forgot about that, huh?
Romo with command issues still a little bit early here.
There's some people moving in that Miners bullpen, but I don't think it's quite that time yet. 3-0 pitch. That's a fastball in there for a called strike on the outer part of the plate, 3-1. Romo's curveball has been radared at 71 and the slider at 76. 3-1 pitch to Rose. Swing, a high fly ball out to deep left. Newell going back. Frost going there, looking up. Goodbye. Solo home run for Josh Rose, number 3 on the season. And the Oilers add 1. It's 3-1 in the top of the third. That one kind of hung up, and it was just over sort of that Kendall Ford of Wasilla sign, the yellow one in right center, maybe a little to the right. And again, that fly ball just sort of hung up there.
Yeah, it really did. And I mean, that just flew off the bat of Josh Rose and was high and deep, just beautifully hit.
Yeah, it looked a little bit like a routine fly ball, and it just kept carrying and carrying, but it took a while to get out. But enough of it. Brings up Jake Sandlin, top of the Oilers order. He doubled in the first. That was his 6th double of the summer. First pitch is a called strike on the outside part of the plate, 0-1. And once Rose hit that home run, Josh Meyer, the catcher, went out and talked with Sevi. Just try to say, hey, calm down and just throw strikes. Get these guys out. 0-1 pitch. Check swing. He went around. 0-2. Looked like it could have been a called strike, too. 0-2, nobody out. Miners lead the Oilers 3-1 in the top of the third.
Sandlin was a redshirt sophomore out of Georgia College. Bats left, throws right.
Another one of those bats left, throws right. A lot of them on the Oilers roster. Here comes the 0-2 from Sevi. A little low and away. Ball 1, 1-2. Cameron Frost, the center fielder, is a few steps toward the left center. Comes the 1-2 pitch from Sevi. Kicks, fires. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout for Sevi Romo. There's one down in the top of the third.
Yeah, and after that leadoff home run by Josh Rose, that strikeout's very important to Romo's kind of morale and his attitude right now. Feels pretty good to have a strikeout here for the top of the order.
Brings up Jordan Sanford, the left fielder. Grounded back to the pitcher, Romo in the first. And Sevi kicks. Here's his first pitch. Breaking ball is in there for a strike. 0-1. Beautiful breaking ball from Sevi.
Yeah, and he's, his control issues seem to not be a problem anymore. A lot more strikes now.
0-1 breaking ball and fouled over by the third base coach for the Oilers. And it's quickly 0-2 on Sanford. Sanford from East Tennessee State.
Senior.
Yeah, kind of an interesting batting stance, too. 0-2. In the dirt, stopped by Meyer, 1-2.
He has a very open batting stance.
Kind of like it's almost like Tony Batista used to play for the Orioles in the early 2000s. If anybody remembers that name. Romo looks in for the sign, and Sanford calls time. 1-2. Solo home run for Josh Rose to start the inning. 1-2. Breaking ball, check swing. Left side, rolling and charging is Connolly. Throws off balance to first. Pulls Decker off the bag, but able to keep his foot on for out number 2. That was kind of a check swing and a slow roller, and it was either going to be Panachone or Connolly who made the play. And it looked like Connolly sort of cut off Panachone, but there's 2 away.
Yeah, I think Sanford was wanting to pull back after kind of swinging at that and just hit his bat instead and had to go for it.
Yeah, the pitch was a little up and in, and that's probably why I sort of just went right into the dirt and rolled to that left side. Here's Alex Rubanowitz, walked in the first, reached second on a pass ball. First pitch from Romo. Breaking ball low and away for ball one. And maybe those control issues, more of just a first inning, those jitters kind of getting to him, and he's had time to sort of settle down. 1-0, kicks, fires. Outside part of the plate, a fastball, called strike, 1-1.
Well, in the second inning, Romo saw 3 up, 3 down, so I think he is getting a little bit more comfortable now.
He seemed to put that home run sort of behind him. 1-1 looks into the catcher Meyer for the sign. Sevy kicks, 1-1. Breaking ball, little low, 2-1.
Right on the edge of that strike zone.
Around that lower part and outside of the lefty Rubanowitz. Alex's .302 average is first on the Oilers. 2-1 from Romo. Swing and line, and caught by Terrence Connolly at third. So after Romo gives up a solo shot to Josh Rose, the Oilers go down 1-2-3. The Miners lead at 3-1 as we are through 2.5 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Solo shot for Josh Rose in the top of the third, and then Sevy Romo sets down the Oilers 1-2-3 as we start the bottom half of the third. Johnny Loker, Josh Meyer, Cameron Frost against the righty Tyler Gibson out of Oklahoma. Johnny struck out in the first when it was at the plate when Dane Wunderlich was caught stealing third in the bottom of the second. Here comes the first pitch from Gibson. Breaking ball up and in, ball one. Johnny out of Stanford, along with Matt Decker, who's at first base tonight. Gibson kicks, 1-0. Swing and a miss by Loker, 1-1. Looked like a changeup.
Loker 0 for 1 with already 1 strikeout in this game.
He's been showing a strikeout a little more than we're used to. 1-1, breaking ball up and away, 2-1. Johnny, as I mentioned, 6 strikeouts in his last 12 at-bats coming into this game. Now 7 strikeouts in his last 13. Gibson kicks. Here's his 2-1. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, 2-2. Just on that outside part of the plate.
That's the kind of pitch we see Cameron Frost swing at a lot.
Yeah, that outside slider. Gibson's slider doesn't seem to be too fast. Kind of just floats around. 2-2. Little high, 3-2. Looks like a good pitch. Loker has 3 doubles. Doubled on July 5th against the Oilers down in Kenai. 3-2 from Gibson. Here it is. Line drive into left. Charging is the center fielder Sandlin. Jones was out there as well, and it falls for a base hit. So Johnny Loker now 1 for 2.
Now batting your catcher, number 24, Josh Meyer.
Brings up Josh Meyer.
Meyer the Miner.
Grounded out to first baseman Ethan McGill in the first inning. Meyer on a 5-game hitting streak. Loker on first, 1 steal. Has been caught once. Gibson sets. Here's his pitch. Swing and a fly ball to the right side. It tails foul over by the Miners bullpen.
Meyer with an RBI at his last at bat, batted in Paul Panachone in the first inning for that first run of the game for the Miners.
Righty-righty matchup, 0-1, runner on first. Meyer with that high batting stance first. Second pitch is low and away, ball 1-1-1. Kind of raises his hands, almost not quite above his head, but just about head level.
Now they're above his head.
Now they're above his head. 1-1, fastball inside, 2-1. Miners lead the Oilers 3-1. The bottom of the third. Here's the 2-1 from Gibson. Fastball in there, called strike, 2-2. Meyer with that white compression sleeve on his right arm. Miners with the green tops. Here's the 2-2 from Gibson. Breaking ball, little upstairs, letter high, 3-2. Well, first we saw Sevi Romo with the control issues with the breaking ball. Now we're seeing Gibson a little bit.
I think all these hits are getting to him.
3-2, line into left, a base hit. Just between the shortstop and third baseman. So Josh Meyer extends his hitting streak now to 6 games. Back-to-back singles for the Miners. 2 on, nobody out for Cameron Frost. Frost flew out to right in the first. There's 11 RBIs. And the fourth one for the Miners is Johnny Loker in scoring position on second base. Gibson with a look at second, sets, delivers home. Frost shows bunt, pulls back. It's outside for ball 1. One and 0 on Frost from Washington State. Third baseman Rubanowitz playing in. Shows bunt again, pulls back. It's outside for ball 2, and Drake's already out to talk to the right-hander Tyler Gibson. And Ben Taylor comes over from the third base coaching box to talk with his center fielder, who made a fantastic catch. That was in the second inning, off the bat of A.J. Hernandez.
Frost, the right-handed batter, starts with that open stance, but when he's ready to swing, he steps back into that straight away stance.
That's where he hits it. That's where he gets his power. 2-0, shows bunt, pulls back again. It's outside, and 3-0. First baseman Ethan McGill is playing in front of the runner, Josh Meyer. And the third baseman, Rubanowitz, is in. Pitch is inside and high. Ball 4, a 4-pitch walk for Cameron Frost, and now the bases are full of Miners. Third straight base runner, and that brings up Matt Decker. And it looks like Brian Reich, the pitching coach for the Oilers, going out to talk with Gibson, Zarate, and the infield. There is action in that Oilers bullpen. Looks like somebody getting loose.
Yeah, there's no one actually pitching yet.
Ben Taylor is sort of between home plate and third base talking with Matt Decker. Johnny Loker singled. He's on third. Meyer singled. He's on second. And Frost walked. He's on first. Matt Decker entered tonight at .265 with a home run and 8 RBIs. Perhaps you would like to get into double digits in RBIs here with a base knock to get the 2 runs in, Loker and Meyer. Maybe even Frost at first.
Frost showed bunt at the first 3 pitches thrown by Gibson. I wonder if that kind of played with Gibson's head, knowing that, oh, well, if, Frost bunts it, I might have to run off the mound. And that, curious to see if that might have, thrown him off a little bit. Now the bases are full.
First pitch to Decker is a fastball a little outside, called strike 0-1.
Decker with that usual deep breath before entering that batter's box.
It works. Gibson kicks. Here's his 0-1. Fouled back. 0-2. Nobody out still.
Decker was kind of reaching for that one. That pitch looked just a little outside again. Reached for it and swung.
Lefty Matt Decker from Incarnate Word warming in that Miners bullpen. 0-2 on Matt Decker from Stanford. Gibson kicks. 0-2. Up and in. 1-2. Center fielder Sandlin is a few steps. He was toward left center. Now he's moving back toward straightaway center and sort of just kicking that grass and playing with the dirt out there with his feet.
And it is now starting to rain.
All right, then. 1-2 pitch to Decker. Breaking ball fouled off right at home plate, and it's still 1-2. Just a light drizzle. But the field is dry now.
Yeah. As, you know.
Yeah,
Yesterday was a downpour.
Yeah.
All yesterday morning. Didn't stop until about 1 or 2. Just drenched the field, the whole city. It was just a downpour for hours.
They tried to get it in, but couldn't do it. 1-2 pitch. Up and in. 2-2 on Decker. So definitely control problems here for the righty from Oklahoma. Decker with that deep breath. Stands in. Gibson kicks. 2-2. Low and away in the dirt. Scooped by Zarate. Full count, 3-2. Tyler Gibson has to be careful here. Just one more pitch, and if it's a ball, it's 4-1 Miners. Bases full of Miners. Outfield is now straight away. Gibson kicks. 3-2 pitch. Fouled off to the right, out of play over by the Miners bullpen and over the fence.
5-pitch at bat now for Decker. 3 foul balls.
Three and two on Decker. Nobody out. Bases loaded. Gibson kicks. The 3-2. Line foul over by the Miners bullpen. Still 3-2. He's making Gibson work. So did Johnny Loker. Must be something they learned at Stanford. Gibson looks in. Here comes the 3-2. Rip to the right side and foul again.
5th foul ball for Decker.
Nobody out. Miners lead the Oilers 3-1 here in the bottom of the third. Gibson looks in, has his pitch. Here's the 3-2. Breaking ball inside, ball 4, a run in. It's 4-1 Miners. Back-to-back walks for Tyler Gibson. That's the third walk given up by the righty from Oklahoma.
Your second baseman, number 4, Nick Blazer.
That brings up Nick Blazer. Reached on a 4-6 fielder's choice and scored on the double by Wunderlich. Blazer from Cal State Northridge stands in on the right side against the righty Gibson. And Gibson's first pitch is swung on and missed by Blazer, 0-1. Chased a fastball a little bit low. Meyer on third, Frost on second, Decker on first. Still nobody out and a run in. Here's the 0-1 from Gibson. Fastball in there called strike.
Still nobody out. Another bases loaded situation for Gibson. Already one run scored.
1-1 on Blazer. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to right, coming in is Rose, charging. It's down for a base hit. 1 run scores. It's Meyer, and everybody moves up. Blazer on first, Decker on second, and Frost on third. Just good bang-bang singles right there for Nick Blazer. That's what he does so well. That's one of the benefits of having that little guy in your lineup, just to sort of poke the ball and find those gaps. And Kyle Richardson, the head coach of the Oilers, making his way to the mound. This is the second meeting on the mound in the inning, so there will be a pitching change. Tyler Gibson gives him the ball, and we will have a pitching change when we come back. 5-1 Miners in the bottom of the third on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. New pitcher in the bottom of the third. Right-hander Cody Ritchie from Incarnate Word, 2-0 with a 5.06 ERA. This is his 12th appearance. 20 hits in 16 innings. He struck out 8. Infield in, here's Terrence Connolly. Singled back in the second. Base is still loaded. First pitch is up and away, ball 1. 5 straight base runners for the Miners. Loker singled, Myers singled, Frost and Decker walked, and then Blazer singled. 2 runs already in here in the inning, 5-1 Miners. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to left. Going back now, coming in is Sanford. Makes the catch, and bluffing at third base was Cameron Frost, and the ball gets away from the catcher, Zarate. Here comes Frost. He scores, and all the other runners advance, and the Miners take a 6-1 lead. Boy, right there, that's just giving away runs.
Yeah, especially in this situation. 5 straight base runners are already 5-1, and don't want to have any more runs scored. It's the bottom of the third inning.
That's the first out. So Frost scores. It's now 6-1, and that brings up Dane Wunderlich. And a big double in the second inning that scored 2. Wunderlich doubled in that second inning. The bases, runners at second and third. First pitch from Ritchie is outside, ball 1. First base is open. Ritchie looks into the signs from catcher Zarate. Wunderlich with a shake of the bat. Now he stops, 1-0 pitch. Low ball 2, 2-0. Infield is in. In case there's a ball on the ground, Oilers don't want to let the Miners score any more runs. Already 6-1 and 3 runs here in the inning. Richie sets. Here's his pitch. Fastball on the inside corner. It's a called strike, 2-1. Richie faced the Miners on July 4th in that 9-6 win for the Oilers. Went an inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. Faced 3 batters. That certainly helped his ERA. Went from 5.40 to 5.06. Just from that scoreless, hitless inning. 2-1 on Wunderlich. Shake of the bat. 2-1. Breaking ball upstairs and dipped in for a called strike. 2-2. Wunderlich with a little bit of a look back at home plate umpire Robert Mays. Like more of a silent argument than anything. 2-2. Here's the pitch to Wunderlich. That one gets away from the catcher's ruddy. Here comes Decker. Blazer up to third. Another run in. It's 7-1. Again, this is just giving away runs.
It really is. You know, they still only have 1 out here for the Oilers, and they just can't seem to, you know, pitch straight, get those outs, and now with 2 errors, 1 error now. So kind of a rough start here.
So Wunderlich with a 3-2 count, just a runner on third. It's Blazer. First and second open, 1 away, 7-1 Miners. Richie sets, 3-2. Swing and miss, foul tipped into the mid of Drake Zarate. And that's the first strikeout for Cody Ritchie. And now 2 down in the bottom of the third.
Now batting, your shortstop number 3, Paul Paniccione.
Brings up Paul Paniccione to the top of the order. Paniccione 1 for 2. Also scored a run. He doubled in the first and popped out to first in the second inning. First pitch from Ritchie. Upstairs and a little outside. 1-0 on the fastball. I think the rain has stopped.
Yeah, I think it's still a little bit of a drizzle.
Maybe like a mist.
Yeah. You can still see it.
1-0 pitch from Ritchie. Breaking ball in the dirt. Scooped by Zarate. 2-0. So this has been sort of a night for the Oilers of command struggles and somewhat sloppy defense. 3 errors. 2-0. Fastball in there called strike, 2-1. Chopper to left side, charging the shortstop. Jones has it, throws to first, and that'll retire the side. 4 runs, 3 hits, 3 errors, and 1 man left on. We're through 3 at Herman Brothers. The Miners lead the Oilers 7-1 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. New pitcher on the mound for the Miners, the lefty Matthew Decker from Incarnate Word, 0-1 with a 7.50 ERA. This is his 5th appearance. He's pitched 6 innings, struck out 5, giving up 7 hits. And the first pitch is to Miles Jones, the shortstop, and it's low and in for ball 1. Jones singled in the first. Kind of a weird play. It was off the field umpire. 1-0, little high with a fastball, 2-0. Line is done on Sevi Romo. 3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Also, line complete on Tyler Gibson. We'll have that in just a second. 2-0. Fastball on the inside part of the plate, called strike, 2-1. Gibson went 2 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. 2-1 from Decker. Fastball low, 3-1.
Matt Decker was one of our pregame profiles yesterday. I got the chance to talk with actually both Matt Deckers. They're on our YouTube page.
Pitch low and away for ball 4. Brings out the lefty Ethan McGill. And now I can understand why Ben Taylor has decided to go with the lefty here, because the next 5 hitters are lefties: McGill, Thurman, Hernandez, Zarate, and Rose. Tyler Stubblefield, the lefty, he shut down the Oilers. First pitch, fastball in there, called strike, 0-1. McGill grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in the first inning. Now, Decker and Meyer should be careful because Miles Jones has 9 stolen bases. He's been caught once. Fastball low and away, ball 1, 1-1. Decker looks into Meyer for the sign. He has it. He sets. 1-1. Swing and a miss by McGill, 1-2. Chased a fastball low. Miners lead the Oilers 7-1. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Oilers. 7 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Miners. Decker sets. 1-2. Hard grounder, foul, first base side behind the first base coach for the Oilers. This good crowd has turned into a great crowd, especially on the first base side.
Yeah, on the third base side also.
Started out as a great, great day for baseball. Now it is pretty much overcast. 1-2, breaking ball, McGill fouls it back. Still 1-2. Lefty-lefty matchup, McGill from Incarnate Word facing his college teammate right now, Matthew Decker. 1-2. High fly ball out to deep left center. Frost moving over. Calls for it. A few more steps. Makes the catch. And there's one away. That brings up Nick Thurman, the designated hitter. Reached on an error by the shortstop Panachone in the second and was tagged out at first base when he didn't tag up because he thought the ball hit off the bat of A.J. Hernandez to center. Had dropped for a hit, but Frost made a fantastic catch. First pitch, check swing, fastball. And it's a strike, 0-1.
Miners have really done an outstanding job so far in this game. Now up 7-1, has just about everyone has reached base.
Time called.
And actually, yes, everyone has reached base. All 9 batters just doing an outstanding job so far.
Cameron Frost alone, Miner without a hit. Breaking ball to Thurman on the inside part of the plate. For strike 2, 0-2. Thurman from Louisiana Lafayette. Home is Belle Chase, Louisiana. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout for Matt Decker, and there's 2 down in the top of the 4th.
3-pitch strikeout for Matt Decker, and he's just getting better and better.
Brings up A.J. Hernandez, the second baseman. and flew out to deep center. Frost made an over-the-shoulder catch. Runner on first, Jones is still there with 9 steals on the summer. First pitch is up and away for ball 1 to Hernandez. Hernandez has 16 RBIs. That's first on the Oilers. 1-0 runner at first is off. High fly ball in the infield. Decker calls for it, waves everybody off, shifts to foul territory, and makes the catch for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on. We're through 3.5. Miners lead the Oilers 7-1 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Bottom of the 4th in Palmer. Miners lead the Oilers 7-1. The Matsu Miners Radio Network. I'm Austin Pollock with Emma Tiedemann to my right. Cam Newell, Johnny Loker, and Josh Meyer to face the righty Cody Ritchie. Newell has been on base twice. He singled in the first and walked in the second. He's been stranded both times.
Both times has also worked a full count.
Comes the first pitch from the righty Cody Ritchie. Is a fastball up and away, ball 1. Ritchie from Incarnate Word. 1-0 pitch to Newell. Fastball a little outside, and it's a called strike, 1-1. So actually right now, the 2 pitchers are both from Incarnate Word, Ritchie and Matt Decker. 1-1, Ritchie kicks, fires, swing and a miss. Completely fooled Newell on a breaking ball. It's 1-2.
Ritchie kind of has a slow windup.
Yeah, he really does. So does Sevi Romo.
Mm-hmm.
1-2, here's the slow windup and the pitch. Newell lifts it foul left side or behind the Miners' dugout. Every Miner has recorded a hit except for Cameron Frost, but every Miner has been on base. Frost walked in the 3rd. Comes the 1-2 from Ritchie. Newell twists it foul, but Rubanowitz, a few steps off the third base bag, makes the catch, and there's one away. Kind of just poked that bat out over the plate. The ball sort of skimmed off the top part of the bat. All I can really do is twist that foul. There's Johnny Loker. He's 1 for 2. He struck out in the first, singled and scored in the 3rd. Part of a 4-run attack in that 3rd inning. First pitch to Johnny is a fastball upstairs, ball 1.
The first 5 batters actually reached base, and 4 out of those 5 scored.
Ritchie looks in, has his pitch, kicks, 1-0. Breaking ball off the outside part of the plate. It's called strike 1-1. Josh Meyer is on deck. Outfield straight away. Sandlin was deep. Now he takes a few steps in. 1-1. Breaking ball line over the head of Ben Taylor. And it's foul and into that Oilers bullpen. 1-2. Just 3 hits for the Oilers. Sandlin, Jones, and Rose. Just 1 run for the Oilers. That was a home run for Rose. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed by Loker for out number 2. Second strikeout for Cody Ritchie. Second time Loker's gone down on strikes. There's 2 down for Josh Meyer.
Your catcher, number 24, Josh
Meyer 1 for 2.
Meyer.
Singleton scored in the third and grounded out to first in the first. Righty-righty matchup. Ritchie kicks. First pitch, breaking ball to the left side on the ground. Charging is Jones. Off balance throw to first. Dugout by McGill. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Cody Ritchie and the Peninsula Oilers, but the Miners still lead 7-1. We're through 4 at Herman Brothers Field on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Top of the 5th here, and Matt Decker out of Incarnate Word still on the mound doing work for the Miners. Miners lead 7-1 through 4 innings. Decker first faces Drake Zarate, then Josh Rose, and Jake Sandlin. First pitch, Loneway gets behind Meyer for ball 1. Zarate 0 for 1 with a ground out in the second. Miners just doing an outstanding job tonight. Oilers have 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. Excuse me, 1 error. 1-0 pitch a little high, ball 2 for Decker. Decker came in the 4th, walked Miles Jones, his first batter he faced, but then retired the next 3. The fly out, a strikeout, and another fly out. 2-0 pitch, in there called strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. Zarate hitting .237, has 3 RBIs, 2 doubles. Decker sets. The 2-1 pitch. High ball 3.
Miners have another off day tomorrow. Seems like they're always off.
Yeah, and especially now there's quite a few coming up in the month of June. July.
Oh, who needs to work on their months now?
3-1 pitch, and they're called strike. In June, there were 2 off days. In July, there were 5, but now just 4 because of the Panners reschedule. Play the Panners the 23rd and the 22nd. 3-2 pitch, little inside, ball 4.
Well, you can hear that the fans here in Palmer do not like that call from the home plate umpire, Robert Mays.
They do not, and that's another leadoff walk. His second for Matt Decker, leadoff walk. Had one in the 4th inning. That brings up Josh Rose, his last at-bat against Sevi Romo for the Miners. Hit a solo shot deep into right field. High fly ball out there for the only run of the game for the Oilers. Takes the first pitch in there called strike. Rose came in with already 2 home runs on the season, now 3. 11 RBIs and 4 doubles, hitting .244. 0-1 pitch by Decker. Little outside, ball 1. Zarate with a leadoff at first. Rose, the right fielder, at the plate, lefty versus lefty, against Matt Decker. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and lifted deep into right field again. Newell going back for it. And it's gone for his second home run of the game. That's a 2-run home run by Josh Rose. Makes it a 7-3 game here at Herman Brothers.
Yeah, absolutely smoked just right over that MEA sign. And Newell went back for it a little bit, but just gave up on it. He saw that one was way over the wall. And we've seen Rose struggle really against the Miners, but certainly not tonight.
Not tonight at all. 2 home runs, 2 for 2. Not a bad night for Josh Rose, but that brings us back to the top of the order to Jake Sandlin. Here in the top of the 5th, the Miners lead 7-3. No outs. Bases now empty. And that's actually going to be Nick Rogowski as a pinch hitter. 1-1 pitch inside by Decker, ball 1. Rogowski, a right-handed batter. Two-one pitch inside and high. 2-0. Decker sets. 2-0 pitch. Low and in the dirt, ball 3. Decker quickly down in the count, 3 balls, no strikes. Here's a 3-0 pitch. Inside, ball 4, and it's a 4-pitch walk by Matt Decker. Putting another batter on the base path for the Oilers. And Nick Blazer, the second baseman, heads to the mound to chat things over. And pitching coach Brad Baker will talk things over along with the rest of the infield. 2 runs have scored so far here in the top of the 5th. Zarate was walked to lead off. Then Josh Rose with a 2-run shot home run over the right field fence. Then Rogowski reached base on another walk by Decker.
There is action in that Miners bullpen. Lefty Hunter Rodriguez getting loose.
Miners lead 7-3. The infield's going to head back out. They're all smiling and laughing about something. So their spirits, we noticed it earlier before the game. Their spirits were up. They're laughing, having a good time. Just very relaxed.
I think it's part of this, hey, let's worry about winning. Of course, you want to win, but let's just go out there and have fun and just grind. That seems to sort of just be the whole mindset.
First pitch to Sanford, in there called strike. Good way to start it off.
It's that whole OTG on the grind.
Oh, 1 pitch to Sanford. Breaking ball gets away from Meyer. Low ball 1. Rogowski on first. Sanford, the right-handed batter, at the plate. 1-1 pitch by Decker. Low and in the dirt again, ball 2.
You were OTG yesterday, weren't you?
Yes. I was wearing my shirt. Very comfortable shirt.
I love it. Have it back tomorrow.
Yeah, somebody left there. It's a 2-1 pitch, and they're called strike.
I left it in Kenai, but I did not want to lose that. So that's being sent back
So
where it belongs.
Austin is currently off the grind.
I am a little bit.
2-2 count to Sanford. Decker sets. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball outside. Ball 3. Full count now for Decker.
If you don't already, follow us on Twitter. The handle is @ABL Miners.
Decker sets for the 3-2 pitch. Delivers. Swung on. And it's fouled on the third base side. Just hooked it. Sanford stays alive with a 3-2 count.
And, something else that's coming up. Today's what, Monday?
Yes.
Thursday's coming up. So we are actually out right now of Throwback Thursday. So parents, if you're listening, email us pictures of your player when they were younger playing Little League or whatever. That email is matsuminersbroadcast@gmail.com.
3-2 pitch by Decker. Breaking ball. Foul again. Ground ball down the third base side.
We've had, we've had Jordan Rogers. Let's see.
Matt Decker from Stanford.
Matt Decker.
Johnny Loker.
That it?
I think that's it.
Huh. Hunter Simmons.
Oh, yes. He was our first
Yep.
Throwback Thursday. 3-2 pitch again by Decker. Swung on. Another foul down the third base side.
There's been a 10-pitch at bat.
Sanford really working Decker.
8-pitch at bat. Good crowd here tonight.
Decker sets, pitches, and this one's fair into left field. Caught by Wunderlich, and that's one away.
That was hit very hard and very deep, and Wunderlich was actually playing in the perfect spot to field that.
Brings up Alex Rubanowitz, and the entire infield, including Ben Taylor, is going to head out to the mound, and we'll have a new pitcher in for the Miners. We'll step aside and bring you everything you need to know about the new pitcher. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Summer is the perfect opportunity to work on your golf game. The Palmer Golf Course is located right in the heart of Palmer, just about 2 miles from Herman Brothers Field. Call 907-745-4653 for more information.
Hunter Rodriguez out on the mound for the Matsu Miners. Night is done for Matt Decker. Rodriguez comes in with a man on. Rogowski was walked by Decker. He's still on first base. There's one away here in the top of the fifth. The Miners lead 7-3 over the Oilers. Rodriguez, the lefty out of Utah. Hometown Phoenix, Arizona. First pitch in there called strike. Urbanowitz was walked in the first by Savvy Romo, then lined out in the third. 0 for 1. Check the first. Rogowski's safe. Rodriguez looks into Meyer, the catcher tonight for the Miners. Sets for the 0-1 pitch. Here it is, and it hits Urbanowitz in the back, and that's now a second base runner for the Miners to worry about. Rogowski moves up to second. Urbanowitz at first, and Miles Jones, the shortstop, at the plate.
You know, we've seen Hunter Rodriguez really struggle with his command in the last, probably, I would say, 2 or 3 outings.
I'd agree. Early in the summer, he was very, very pinpoint accuracy, throwing those strikes, sometimes getting 3 strikeouts in an inning, just great. But lately, it's not as consistent.
Yeah, he's thrown a lot of innings.
First pitch to Miles Jones, throws bunt, fouls it back. Strike 1. Jones out of UC Bakersfield.
Last time Rodriguez pitched was the 4th of July against the Oilers. 2/3 of an inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. But pitched June 29th and July 1st and walked 3 batters in each of those appearances.
Jones actually out of Cal State Bakersfield. To get those UC and Cal State systems just mixed up as he fouls one down the first base side. Strike 2.
That's a tough one. I used to get, I've sort of gotten a handle of it more now, but I used to get Blazer and Cam Newell mixed up with that UCSB and Cal State Northern because they came in at the same time. I know that we just got baby pictures.
From Mr. Morris, that is little baby Josh Morris at the tee.
Oh, I got to look at this one.
Oh, it's cute. Another foul by Miles Jones at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out here at the top of the 5th. Miners lead 7-3. Runners on first and second. Rodriguez sets. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Strike 3 for Miles Jones. The first strikeout of the game for Hunter Rodriguez. And that is now 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Brings up Ethan McGill. 0 for 2. Part of a 4-6-3 double play in the first. Then had a fly out in the 4th.
It's now the 17th strikeout for Hunter Rodriguez. In 11 1/3 innings.
Lefty versus lefty. It's over the head of McGill behind Meyer, and the runners advance on the wild pitch. So Rogowski now on third. Urbanowitz on second. And McGill at the plate with an 1-0 count. McGill out of Incarnate Word, another teammate. We have three players on the field out of Incarnate Word. Or we did. Matt Decker, the pitcher. Cody Ritchie, the pitcher for the Oilers. And now Ethan McGill at the plate. That's a big swing by McGill for strike 1. And you can send the pictures to our email address at
MatsuMinersBroadcast@gmail.com.
Too many different handles for me to remember. Send all the cute little pictures. 1-2 pitch, swung on, ground ball up to center field. Blazer backhands it, throw to first. Not in time. 2-run score. with a 2-run RBI single for Ethan McGill. That was a tough play for Blazer, the second baseman, to grab. You know, he made it to center field and backhanded it, but just couldn't get the throw off in time. So McGill now with the 2-run single. The Oilers fighting back. Now they're only down by 2 runs, 7-5 here in the top of the 5th. 4 runs have scored in this inning. And that brings up the designated hitter, Nick Thurman. Reached on an error in the 2nd and struck out his last at bat in the 4th. First pitch by Rodriguez in there, called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Rodriguez sets. Here's the pitch. And there, called strike again. A little bit of a curveball. Thurman out of Louisiana Lafayette, sophomore. Hometown is Belle Chase, Louisiana. He is 6'2", 210. 0-2 pitch by Rodriguez. Swung on, ground ball into right field. Gets past the glove of diving Matt Decker, the first baseman. McGill makes it all the way around to third, and Thurman holds up at first. Now runners on the corners for Rodriguez, and that brings up A.J. Hernandez, 0 for 2 with a fly out to center field in the 2nd. That was the great, amazing catch by Cameron Frost, the center fielder for the Miners, and had a fly out in foul territory in the 4th. That was caught by the first baseman, Matt Decker.
And I feel like Matt Decker at first may have tripped, or he definitely just dove for that ball way too early. It's also maybe a little bit out of his reach.
Hernandez, the lefty versus lefty now with Rodriguez, the pitcher for the Miners. First pitch in there, ground ball, fielded by Panachone, and it's a fielder's choice, 6-4. The force out to Thurman at second. And that brings us to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Miners lead 7-5, but Oilers fighting back. We're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Cameron Frost out of Washington State leading things off here in the bottom of the 5th. Miners lead 7-5. But the Oilers fighting back in the top of the 5th, scored 4 runs. Miners also scored 4 runs back in the 3rd. First pitch by Ritchie to Frost, and they're called strike. Oh, 1 pitch to Frost, high and inside, ball 1. Frost, the only Miner not to have a hit yet tonight. Had a fly out in the 1st, then was walked in the 3rd, but scored a run. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball lifted into shallow center field. Going back for it is Hernandez, the second baseman. Called off by the right fielder, Rose. And that's 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th.
I just actually got a chance to look at this picture of Josh Morris. I don't know if it's him because he doesn't have all that hair on his
Oh,
face.
yeah. The beard.
No, we know it's him. Thank you, Mr. Morris, for sending that one in. We'll be sure to use it.
Matt Decker, the first baseman, at the plate. First pitch by Richie, breaking ball in there called strike. Decker out of Stanford. Had a single in the second, was walked in the third, and scored a run. 0-1 pitch. Big swing, strike 2. Outfield and infield all playing straight away for Decker. Decker hitting .265, has 1 home run, 8 RBIs, 4 doubles. 0-2 pitch by Richie. Breaking ball, ground ball to the third baseman Rubanowitz. Makes the throw to first in time, and that's 2 away. Brings up Nick Blazer. Blazer 1 for 2. The single in the second, then reached on a fielder's choice in the third. Has 6 RBIs, 2 doubles on the season. First pitch by Richie. Swung on and lifted into a shallow right field. That gets down for a base hit. And Blazers on base for Terrence Conley. Conley at third base tonight. Had a double in the second and scored a run. Then had a fly out to left field in the third. Conley, the lefty, out of UNC Wilmington. Steps into the batter's box. Richie takes a quick look at first to Blazer. Looks in. First pitch. Low gets away from Zarate, the catcher. Blazer advances to second on the wild pitch. Blazer advanced to third in the third inning off a wild pitch as well. So now an 1-0 count for Conley at the plate. Miners lead 7-5 here in the bottom of the 5th. 1 ball, no strikes, and 2 outs. Blazer with a lead off of second. Richie sets. The 1-0 pitch. Little high, ball 1. Excuse me, ball 2. Rogowski, the center fielder, playing a few steps to our right. Richie sets. 2-0 pitch. Inside, ball 3. 3-0 count to Conley. Conley with the open stance, the lefty. 3-0 pitch. Steps in. Called strike. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner on second. Bottom of the 5th, the Miners lead 7-5. Miners have 7 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. Oilers 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. Three-one pitch by Richie. Low and outside, ball 4. Puts another base runner on for the Miners. Blazer on second, Conley on first. And Dane Wunderlich heading to the plate. The rain has stopped. There's some blue sky out in the outfield now. As Dane Wunderlich steps into the batter's box. Wunderlich had a double in the second, then was caught stealing. Then was struck out in the third. It was Richie's first strikeout. First pitch lifted foul behind the plate. Going back for it is the catcher, Zarate. Makes the catch for out number 3. As we head to the top of the 6th. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on. Miners lead 7-5. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
new pitcher in for the Miners. It's a lefty from Azusa Pacific. Just finished his sophomore year. John Reed. Oh no, with a 9.72 ERA. This is his 6th appearance. 8 1/3 innings, 10 hits, 5 walks, 13 strikeouts. Last time he pitched was July 4th against the Oilers. Went 2 1/3 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, all earned, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. And the first man he'll face is the catcher, Drake Zarate. First pitch, check swing, and it's fouled off. Zarate 0 for 1. He walked and scored in the 5th. He grounded out to 3rd in the 2nd. Lefty-lefty matchup. Here comes the 1-0 from Reed. Inside. 1-1. Man on deck, Josh Rose, 2 for 2. 2 home runs. One a 2-run shot, the other a solo. 1-1 is in the dirt, 2-1. Miners lead the Oilers 7-5. In the top of the 6th, 2-1 from Reed. Chopper right side, Decker takes it, scoops it, steps on the bag. 1 away. I'll bring up Josh Rose, as I said, 2 for 2. 2 home runs. Number 3 and number 4.
Solo shot in the 3rd and a 2-run home run in the 5th.
Another lefty-lefty. First pitch, little up high and away, 1-0. Night is done for Hunter Rodriguez, 2 1/3 innings. 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, 1 strikeout. 1-0 to Rose. Popped up. Left side, over by the Oilers' dugout. Meyer and Connolly give chase. It's into the stands. 1-1. If that foul ball did damage to your car, visit our friends at the locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. Locations in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. 1-1 on Rose. Here's a 1-1 pitch from Reed. Up and in, and it got him.
Looks like it hit his elbow.
So now Josh Rose on first with the hit by pitch. Alex Rabanowitz was hitting the 5th. And back to the top of the order for Nick Rogowski from Cal State Bakersfield. He walked and scored in the 5th. Took the spot of Jake Sandlin, center fielder, in leadoff spot. Runner on first. Pitch from Reed, fouled back right above us, 0-1. Josh Rose has 1 stolen base. He's been caught once. Well, this is the 3rd lefty in a row that the Oilers have had to face. And there's that benefit. 0-1, fastball low, 1-1. There's that benefit for the lefty pitcher of keeping an eye on first base. We've seen many times they had a good eye on that runner, and they see that the runner's off, and they pick off to first, and the first baseman throws to the second base bag, and they get the runner. Reed sets, 1-1. Fastball low, 2-1. It is 8:55 here in Alaska. Reed sets, kicks the 2-1. Outside fastball, 3-1. Almost time. It's time to start thinking about that player of the game. No need to send votes in quite yet. 3-1 on Rogowski. Here's the pitch. That's low ball 4. Back-to-back base runners for the Oilers with 1 out. And that'll bring up Jordan Sanford, the left fielder, who was 0 for 3, and he entered with a 6-game hitting streak. So that's almost in jeopardy. Flew out to left in the 5th, grounded out to 3rd in the 3rd, grounded back to the pitcher Sevi Romo in the 1st. Rogowski on first, Rose on second. with one away, and the Miners leading the Oilers. Almost said Orioles. Oilers 7-5. Guess we're not in the bigs yet. There's the first pitch to Sanford. Fastball in there for a strike, 0-1. Somebody tossing in that Miners bullpen. It's a right-hander. We're about to start tossing. Might be Ryan Oglesby. Not positive. 0-1. Chopper into left. That's down for a base hit. Runner at third will hold. A strong throw in and a very high throw, and it gets away. But fortunately, the pitcher Reed was backing up Josh Meyer. Excellent defense for the Miners. Although that hit, they gave up that hit. That's good defense. That's heads up right there. That's the stuff they teach you early, and sometimes it's costly.
Yeah, if Reed wasn't behind Meyer backing him up, then one run definitely would have scored, and that would have been Josh Rose. But that was just a great job by Reed.
That is Ryan Oglesby warming in the Miners bullpen. You don't have to see a number. You just know from that delivery.
Very unique.
Yeah. One out here is Alex Rubanowitz. Rose at third, Rogowski at second, Sanford at first. Still one out, and the base is full of Oilers. Lefty-lefty matchup. Reed sets. Fast for a strike, 0-1. It's turned into a very good game, close game. The Miners had a big lead, 7-1. Oilers are inching back. Here's the 0-1 from Reed. Chopper foul over by the Miners dugout. 0-2 on Rubanowitz. Alex was hit by a pitch and scored on the fifth, lined out to third in the third, and walked in the first. So he is 0 for 1. 0-2. Foul back to the screen. Still 0-2. Miles Jones on deck. He's a righty. So Reed needs to throw something to jam Rubanowitz and maybe get some sort of a double play. Reed sets. 0-2. Breaking ball low and away and 1-2. I think he tried to send that breaking ball a little bit down in the zone and try to get Rubanowitz to swing and ground into a double play. 1-2 on the lefty. Reed sets. 1-2. Low and away. Fastball. 2-2. Reed's gotten one spot start off the loss in a 1-0 game against the Pilots on July 1st. 4 2/3 innings, struck out 9. 2-2 to Rubanowitz. Line into right, a base hit. That's down. 1 run scores. Here comes another. The throw in. It's cut off at second base by Panachone, and that is a 2-run single for Alex Rubanowitz, and we are all knotted up at 7 as Ben Taylor is making his way to the mound. And we'll have to see if they bring in the new pitcher. That was just roped into right field, and Ryan Oglesby is trotting in from the bullpen. It's 7-7 in the top of the 6th. We have a pitching change from Herman Brothers on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. New pitcher on for the Miners is the right-hander out of Slippery Rock, Ryan Oglesby, 1-0 with a 2.16 ERA. He's appeared in 7 games, 8 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts. Last pitch July 2nd against the Pilots. 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, no strikeouts. That was a 9-5 loss against Anchorage. That was down in Anchorage. So here is Miles Jones, 2 runs in for the Miners, for the Oilers. First pitch of Jones is a fastball outside, ball 1.
Talking with head coach Ben Taylor, Oglesby is kind of that bridge guy between the relievers and Vince Arobio, the closer for the Miners. See if
1-0 pitch, tries bunt, drops it down, and the runner at third is caught in a pickle, and Josh Meyer tags out Jordan Sanford, and that is a gift right there. I think that the runner at third, Sanford, thought Jones was going to get that bunt down, and he was already charging in. So Sanford gunned down for the second out. It's a 1-1 count on Jones. That's a gift right there.
Yeah, it really is. Take care of that runner just 90 feet away from leading the game.
Lined over the head of Blazer into right, a base hit. Here comes Rubano. It's strong throw in, cut off by Decker. They let it go, and it goes to Meyer, but the Oilers take an 8-7 lead. RBI single for Miles Jones. This has been a struggle for the pitching.
Yeah, this is definitely pitching.
It's really been the bullpen. Sevy Roma gave up 1 run. It was Decker gave up 3. Hunter Rodriguez gave up 3. Those runs charged to John Reed. Runner at first is off the throw from Meyer. The catch by Panachone. The tag, he's out. Miles Jones trying to get that 10th stolen base. Josh Meyer and Paul Panachone. That's a very strong duo when runners try to steal. So he's gunned down, but the Oilers do get 3 runs in the top of the 6th and take an 8-7 lead. On the Matsu Miners Radio Network, we're through 5.5. Here's Paul Panachone to be start. Bottom of the 6th. First pitch is up and in for ball 1. And struggling with that online scoring as well. 1-0 from Ritchie is fouled back. Panachone is 1 for 3. Comes the 1-1. Grounder to the right side. Second baseman Hernandez throws to first. 1 away.
Now batting, your right fielder, number 14, Cam Newell.
Brings up Cam Newell. Newell was 1 for 2. Popped out to third in the fourth. First pitch. Fouled off to the left. Out of play. Folks, we're experiencing some technical difficulties, so we're going to step aside and we'll bring updates as soon as we can bring them. Folks, you can hear Johnny Loker has just hit a solo home run to left field. That's his third home run of the summer. And the Miners have tied it up at 8 apiece in the bottom of the sixth. We are still experiencing technical difficulties, so we are going to step aside again. But Johnny Loker, a solo home run to left, and we're all knotted up at 8 in the bottom of the sixth. Ethan McGill grounds one to the right side. That's Blazer. Spins, turns, throws to first for the first out of the inning. And again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. We have solved every issue for now. So let's actually run you through the bottom of that 6th inning. It was a big one for the Miners. Panichone grounded out to second. Cam Newell popped out to third. Johnny Loker hit a home run, a solo shot to left. Josh Meyer walked. Cameron Frost walked, but before Frost sat bat, there was a pitching change. Chad Reeser came in. Reeser is from San Diego, UC San Diego. Frost walked facing Reeser, and then Matt Decker struck out. And that's where we are right now, and you just heard about the ground out for Ethan McGill. So now Nick Thurman's the batter, and he lines one foul to the left out of play, and it's 2-1. Thurman is 1 for 3.
Thurman reached on an error in the second.
Pitch from Oglesby, swing and a miss, 2-2.
Was struck out in the 4th by Matt Decker, and then had a single in the 5th, but then was thrown out at second with a 6-4 putout.
2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. It's the second strikeout for Ryan Oglesby. Excuse me, that's the first strikeout for Ryan Oglesby, and there's 2 down. We're in the top of the 7th. Brings up A.J. Hernandez, but looks like we have a pinch hitter, maybe. No, we don't. A.J. Hernandez is the batter. 2 down. Hernandez is 0 for 3.
He's had 2 flyouts and reached on a fielder's choice.
Matt Decker, the first baseman, takes a few steps in, and Connolly is playing in on the infield grass. Here's the first pitch. Slider a little bit low, ball 1. A.J. Hernandez from UNLV. He's from Las Vegas, Nevada. 1-0. High fly ball to shallow right center. Blazer out a few steps, calling everybody off. Makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Oglesby. 7th inning stretch time. Miners and the Oilers are tied at 8 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Clear out your lungs. Let's hear you sing. I can hear you. Go the ball. I don't care whatever you do.
Nick Blazer starts off the bottom of the 7th with the Miners and the Oilers tied at 8. Now it's attendance night 829. First pitch to Blazer is a fastball low and away for ball 1. It's the lefty Chad Reeser from UC San Diego. 1-0 to Blazer is, and there a called strike with a fastball. Blazer 2 for 3.
He's had 2 singles, 1 fielder's choice, but has reached base all 3 times.
Reeser sets. Here's the 1-1. Shows bunt, pulls back, but it's low and away for ball 2. 2-1. Yeah, it's really, I guess the struggles for the Miners tonight, it's been the bullpen. Matt Decker gave up 3 runs. Hunter Rodriguez gave up 1. John Reed gave up 3. 2-1, fouled off to the right over by the Miners clubhouse, and it's 2-2. Sevi Roma went 3 innings, gave up 3 hits, just the 1 run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. You see the 1 walk, but it really seemed his command was a little bit off early on. Seemed to work it back a little bit for the end of his appearance. 2-2, line to right. Rose moving over, and it falls in front of him. A base hit for Nick Blazer, his 3rd hit of the night. And the Miners have the go-ahead run at first base, and here comes Terrence Connolly. 3 straight singles for Blazer. Connolly is 1 for 2. He scored a run and also walked. Walked his last time up, flew out to left in the 3rd. Single and scored in the 2nd. Lefty-lefty matchup. Runner on first, Blazer. Blazer has 1 steal. Shows bunt. It's a little outside for ball 1. 8 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Oilers. 8 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for the Miners. Runner on first, Blazer. 1-0 pitch to Connolly. Bunt, drops it down, but it's foul. 1-1. Sort of popped it right in the air, foul of that, just to the right of the first base line. Nobody out. Lefty-lefty. 1-1 pitch. Bunt drops down, back to the mound. Reeser just throws to first and gets Connolly, so that sacrifice bunt is successful. Now there's 1 out with Blazer on second. Here comes Dane Wunderlich. Dane 1 for 3, popped out to the catcher Zarate in the 6th, struck out in the 3rd, doubled in the 2nd, and was caught stealing 3rd. Runner in scoring position. It's the go-ahead run. Reeser sets. First pitch, foul back behind us. 0-1. Wunderlich, the outfielder from Rice. Started tonight's game 3 for his last 8 with 2 doubles and a home run and 5 RBIs. 0-1, foul back over by the on-deck circle for the Oilers, and it's 0-2. Wunderlich was one of today's pregame profiles, trying to get caught up from when our camera broke unexpectedly. Check that out on our YouTube page. The other one was Jordan Rogers.
And the 2 Matt Deckers yesterday.
0-2 from Reeser. Low, 1-2. Take a fastball from the lefty. Due up in the top of the 8th for the Oilers, Zarate, Rose, and Rogowski. That's 8, 9, and 1. Blazer on second, 1-2 on Wunderlich. Reeser sets. Here's his 1-2. Lifted to the right and out of play. Still 1-2. Everybody in the Miners lineup has a hit except for Cameron Frost. He's 0 for 2. Blazer has 3. Certainly making his name available for that player of the game spot.
Definitely.
Start getting those votes in. Blazers 3 for 4. 1-2 on Wunderlich. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And he's going to run down to first. Throw from Zarate. He is out. That's out number 2. And the second strikeout for Chad Reeser. Back to the top for Paul Panachone. 1 for 4. Grounded out to second in the 6th. Panachone doubled and scored in the 1st. Loves that left center field gap. First pitch from Reeser. In there, called strike with a fastball. That tying run is on second. It's Nick Blazer. Panchone's that guy that you need.
Leading run.
Did I say tying run?
Yep.
I meant leading run. Blazer's a leading run on second. A 1 inside and almost hit Panachone. It's 1-1. Panachone, the guy at the plate the Miners want, especially with that go-ahead run in scoring position at second base. Also, Cam Newell on deck. Newell's been on base twice. Reeser sets. 1-1. A low the fastball, 2-1. Miners have used 5 pitchers, just 3 for the Oilers. Everybody in the Oilers lineup has had a hit. Chopper to the shortstop, Miles Jones throws to first, and that'll retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on. We are through 7. Tie game, 8-8 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Drake Zarate to start things off the top of the 8th against Ryan Oglesby. Zarate 0 for 2, scored a run and walked. He walked and scored in the 5th. First pitch is fastball in there for a called strike, 0-1. Looks like the closer, Vince Arobio, may be starting to loosen out there. Gray hoodie, so it's hard to tell, but I think it's Arobio. 0-1, slider low and away, ball 1, 1-1. Get those player of the game votes in. Email us, matsuminersbroadcast@gmail.com. Tweet at us at ABLMiners or comment below. 1-1. Breaking ball on the outside part of the plate, 1-2. Miners once led 7-1. It's 8-8 in the top of the 8th. A lot of 8s there. 1-2 on Zarate. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Third strikeout for Ryan Oglesby. Now there's 1 out. In the top of the 8th, it brings up Josh Rose. Rose had a big night, 2 for 2, a home run in the 3rd, a home run in the 5th. It was hit by a pitch and scored in the 6th. First pitch fastball called strike.
I think Oglesby's just trying to throw as many pitches as many strikes as he can. Just retire this side quick and
slider a little low. 1-1.
Was it too good?
Fans not happy with the home plate umpire. 1-1. Lifted out third base side, foul territory, just to the left of the bag. Connolly and Panachone calling for it. It's Panachone who makes the catch for out number 2.
Now batting, center field number 3, Nick Rogowski.
Brings up Nick Rogowski. Is walked in the 6th, walked in the 5th, scored both times. First pitch, a called strike. 0-1. I think if you're the Oilers, your player of the game right now is Josh Rose, maybe Miles Jones. 0-1, fastball called strike, 0-2.
Oglesby doing just a great job right now at the top of the 8th, keeping the Miners in it.
0-2, 2 outs. Oglesby sets. Here's the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? They'll check it first. He did not go. 1-2. You know, the Miners have really just grown to have a very strong back end of that bullpen with Ryan Oglesby serving as sort of that setup man, and then Vince Arobio.
It's just those 4, 5, and 6 innings, and I'm really liking watching, you know, Oglesby pitch, and then Arobio is just awesome to watch.
1-2 way outside. 2-2 with a slider. Yeah, as long as the starters can get into that 5th or 6th inning, it's when you can only last 3 or 4 that you really get in trouble. 2-2 low. 3-2.
Well, and 7 runs were scored between the 5th and 6th innings, so that's where the real problem is tonight.
3-2 pitch from Oglesby. Slider, chopper to 3rd. It goes foul. Still 3-2. Check to see if we have any votes for player of the game. Not seeing any right now. 3-2, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Low ball 4. Good at bat for Rogowski as well as really Oglesby. Just kind of lost him with that one pitch, and that brings up Jordan Sanford. Sanford 1 for 4. Singled it last time up. That was in the 6th.
Ryan, pop him up here.
First pitch is a fastball, high ball 1. Tie game, 8-8 in the top of the 8th. 2 outs. 1-0 pitch. Lined behind the bag, picked by Blazer, off balance throw to first is in time. Great pitching, actually, in the inning for Ryan Oglesby. And really, just a great play right there. That was a chopper behind the mound toward the second base bag, and it wasn't hit that hard, but Blazer able to get it, and that is out number 3. So it's no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on. We're through 7.5. Tie game, 8-8 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Bottom of the 8th, Cam Newell, Johnny Loker, Josh Meyer, 2 up for the Miners. New pitcher on the mound for the Oilers, that is Nolan Sheridan. Sheridan, 6'2", 175, right-handed pitcher out of San Francisco State. Sophomore, hometown is Alta Loma, California. First up, Cam Newell, the right fielder. Singled in the first, walked in the second, then had 2 flyouts to third base. Third baseman Rabanowitz in the 4th and 6th innings. First pitch, low in the dirt, ball 1 to Newell. Newell hitting 386, 5 home runs, 23 RBIs, 5 doubles, no triples. One 1-0 pitch by Sheridan, inside again, but called strike. Newell steps in. Here's the 1-1 pitch by Sheridan, inside again for ball 2. And Sheridan throwing those very inside pitches to Newell. Only one of them been called a strike. I guess trying to get Newell off the plate. 2-1 pitch. This time it almost looked like it caught his right hip, but that's ball 3. Sheridan just not able to find that strike zone. Just pitched 4 pitches in a row now inside to Newell. Three 1 pitch by Sheridan. Inside, ball 4. And that's a leadoff walk for the Miners, tied at 8 runs apiece here in the bottom of the 8th. Miners need to get something going. Little rally in the valley, and that brings up Johnny Loker, who is all too familiar with the rally in the valley. Loker 2 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, a single, and a solo home run in the bottom of the 6th. Loker has scored 2 runs in this game. The designated hitter tonight, getting back in the groove of things. Sheridan sets, throw to first. Newell dives, safe at first. Loker hitting .406, 2 home runs, now 3, 6 RBIs, and 3 doubles. Sheridan looks in. First pitch to Loker, low and inside, ball 1.
And I think it's so interesting that Johnny's not really a big guy at all. He's actually pretty small.
He's listed at 6 foot. 6 foot, 185.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a big guy. He's not a power guy, but he's got 3 home runs.
1-0 pitch. And there, little inside, ball 2. And Cam Newell is also one of those guys. Newell is listed at 6'1", 190. But definitely kind of a smaller guy. You don't really think would hit these home runs, but Newell has 5, Loker has 2. And now Loker has a 2-1 count, 2-0 count. Sheridan pitching it inside to these batters. No outside pitches yet. .20 pitch by Sheridan. Low, ball 3. Sheridan's only pitched 1 called strike in 7 pitches. 3-0 pitch. That gets over the plate. Strike 1. Loker has not swung at any pitch yet at this at-bat. Very, very patient. After being struck out twice so far in this game, throw back to first. Newell is safe. Outfield playing straight away. Left fielder Sanford maybe playing a little bit deeper. Loker likes to hit it in the left field and over the left field fence. Another throw to first. Newell is safe.
Newell's sort of just diving back. He's not even going back standing. He's got to just throw his body down and reach that arm out for the bag.
3-1 pitch. Swung on, foul back. Full count now for Johnny Loker.
Miners with the off day tomorrow. They're back in action Wednesday against the Chinooks at 7 o'clock. Actually, 2 games with the Chinooks. Also on Thursday, that is also here at Herman Brothers.
3-2 pitch. Another check over at first to Newell. Newell dives again into the first base bag and is safe. Newell the leading run. 8-8 ball game here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Sheridan sets. Runner goes at first. It's inside, ball 4. Newell advances anyway, and now 2 runners on. Nobody out. 2 walks in a row for Nolan Sheridan, and that brings up Josh Meyer, the minor. Meyer 1 for 3. Had a single and scored a run in the 3rd, grounded out in the 4th, and was walked in the 6th. Meyer worked a full count in the 6th.
You know, I think I know the real struggle for the Oilers tonight has been the control. That was the 9th walk their pitching staff has given up tonight.
First pitch to Meyer, high and inside, ball 1, and Sheridan's kind of problems right now are pitching it 2 inside.
No, he's thrown more balls than strikes.
Oh, definitely. He's walked 2 batters in a row. So now Newell in scoring position at second, leading run. 1-0 pitch. That's over the plate, called strike. Newell at second, the leading run. Loker first, and Meyer with 1 RBI so far.
9 balls, 4 strikes.
1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Meyer steps out. Waving his arms around, getting loose. Newell with a leadoff of second. Loker with a leadoff first. McGill, the first baseman, playing in front of Loker. Sheridan sets. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's the first out here in the bottom of the 8th. The first strikeout of the night for Nolan Sheridan. Brings up center fielder Cameron Frost. 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to right field and 2 walks. He has scored a run, but is hitless and is the only minor without a hit here in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch by Sheridan in there, called strike.
So he's finding that strike zone a little bit more now.
Frost hitting .323, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs, 7 doubles, and 5 triples. Very quick player. 0-1 pitch. Swung on, foul down the third base side, strike 1. Outfield playing straight away. McGill, the first baseman, now playing behind Loker. Hernandez, the second baseman, playing a little bit close to second, keeping an eye on Newell. Bottom of the 8th, tied at 8. Low and outside pitch, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Frost. Matt Decker out of Stanford on deck. Sheridan looks into his catcher, Zarate. Gets the sign, sets, delivers. Blown away, ball 2.
Miners face Sheridan. That was on July 4th when an inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. Also pitched 2 innings on the 29th. That was when Oilers won 10-1. Struck out 3 in those 2 innings. No hits, no runs, no walks.
2-2 pitch. High and outside, ball 3 now, full count to Frost.
It's actually interesting. Going into this outing for Sheridan, he's pitched 19 1/3 innings with 1 walk.
Wow. He has 2 here.
And that came on June 13th.
3-2 pitch. Swung on, lifted into right field. That gets down for a base hit. Frost rounds first. In comes Wunderlich. Newell scores. Loker rounds third. Here's the throw. Slides in. He's safe. The Miners lead now 9-8. And a 2-run RBI by Cameron Frost. And actually, excuse me, 10-8. Miners lead.
That is big. That's a confidence booster for Cameron Frost. He's been struggling at the plate. And when you do something like that, that is big.
Especially in that situation, full count, and just lifted it perfectly into right center field, right behind the right fielder Rose. And that is just a perfect hit by Frost. Newell scored, Loker sliding in, beat the tag, scored the 10th run of the game, and the Miners lead 10-8. And we will have a pitching change for the Oilers. We'll step aside and bring you all the stats on the new pitcher. You are listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. New pitcher for the Oilers is Isaac Fleming. Fleming out of East Central University, a senior there, hometown Santa Clarita, Florida, California. First pitch to Stanford's Matt Decker, low and away, ball one. Decker had a single in the second, was walked in the third, grounded out in the fifth, struck out in the sixth. 1-0 pitch, high, ball two.
Fleming's had one appearance. That was on July 5th against the Miners when inning in a third, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. That's his only appearance of the summer.
2-0 count to Decker. Fleming looks in, sets. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball three. Frost on second with a 2-run RBI double. Batted in Newell and Loker. The Miners take a 10-8 lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Inside, ball four for Decker. So now runners on first and second for the Miners, and Nick Blazer, who has just been outstanding tonight, good nominee for player of the game, has had 3 singles in a row, the 3rd inning, the 5th inning, and the 7th inning, and reached base in the 2nd off a fielder's choice and scored.
Yeah, there are really a couple of guys that you could consider. Cameron Frost, 1 for 3, but that's a big double. That gives your team the lead.
First pitch, high ball 1.
And then of course Blazer, he is 3 for 4. Oglesby has also pretty much shut them down. And that means that Vince Arobio is in that bullpen getting warm.
Yeah, no runs have been scored by the Oilers with Oglesby on the mound. And yeah, if Arobio is still warming up, have a good closer situation here. 1 ball, no strikes to Blazer. Pitch by Fleming. Swung on, foul back behind us, strike 1.
$12 hits for the Miners. 9 for the Oilers.
And now with Frost double, every Miner has hit. One count to Blazer. The pitch in there called strike. Just catches that outside edge of the strike zone. Blazer now with a 1-2 count. Blazer came into this game with 6 RBIs and 2 doubles, hitting .273. 1-2 pitch. High ball 2. Frost and Decker both with leads off second and first, respectively.
And I got a lot of respect for, for this entire team, especially Nick Blazer. He's doing something that I know is very hard. He's also taking summer classes while he's here. I know how hard that is.
2-2 pitch. Outside ball 3. Now full count for Blazer. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Frost on second, Decker on first. Miners lead 10-8 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Pitch, high ball 4. Bases full of Miners now as Blazer takes his base at first. Frost heads to third and Decker heads to second. And that brings up third baseman Terrence Conley. Conley 1 for 2. Had a double in the second, scored a run, a fly out in the third. Walked in the 5th and left on base and had a sacrifice bunt, an RBI. Excuse me, not an RBI, just sacrifice bunt to move Blazer from first to second in the 7th inning. Conley, the lefty, versus Fleming, the right-handed pitcher. First pitch, called strike right down the middle of the plate. Conley with 6 RBIs, 3 doubles, hitting .244. Open stance. 0-1 pitch. Swung on a high fly ball into shallow right center field. Calling for it is Rose, and actually that's the center fielder, Rogowski. Gets it, runners tag up, the throw into home. Frost slides in for the 11th run. Decker safe at third, and Blazer safe at second. Miners now lead 11-8 with Decker at third, just 90 feet away, and Dane Wunderlich at the plate. Wunderlich had a double in the second, a strikeout in the third, a fly out in the 5th, and another strikeout in the 7th. First pitch, little low, ball 1. Wunderlich out of Rice University has 1 home run, 9 RBIs, 5 doubles, 1 triple, hitting .260. 1-0 pitch, high and inside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes, and 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Decker on third, Blazer on second. Outfield playing straight away, so is the infield. 2-0 pitch, high, ball 3. Decker steps back, not Decker, Wunderlich steps back in the batter's box. Fleming looks in. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Catches that low inside corner of the strike zone, strike one. Three-one pitch. And that's called strike. Wunderlich thought it was a ball and it started heading down that first base line. Makes it a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. I have to kind of agree. I thought that was a strike. Might have been a little high from their perspective, but Wunderlich now full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch. Lifted into left field. Going back for it is Sanford, the left fielder, and makes the catch for out number 3. But 3-run score off of 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on. So we head to the top of the 9th. The Miners lead 11-8. You are listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Vince Arobio, the closer, on the mound for the Miners to finish things off here in the top of the 9th. The Miners lead 11-8. Arobio will face Alex Rubanowitz, the third baseman, Miles Jones, the shortstop, and Ethan McGill, the first baseman of the Oilers. And after the Miners led 7-1 by the 4th inning, the Oilers scored 7 runs of their own in the 5th and 6th innings. Make it a close game, but the bottom of the 8th, the Miners scored 3 runs. 2 of those were off of Frost's double. First pitch by Arobio was low outside, ball 1. And then Frost scored a run himself off of a sac fly by Terrence Conley. Puts the Miners ahead 11-8, top of the 9th. 1-0 pitch by Arobio in there, strike 1.
Arobio's been that guy for the Miners. He's just been so reliable out of that back end of the bullpen. Whenever the Miners need a save or they just need an inning just to stop any sort of attack, anything, Arobio's that guy. He just seems to always be there.
And he's very consistent, always the guy you can rely on and not be like, oh, 1-1 pitch inside, ball 1. But he's always very consistent. He doesn't waver. He's, like you said, your go-to man in the top of the 9th when you're up by 3 runs.
Well, he hasn't given up a run since June 12th. He's only given up 2 all summer.
2-1 pitch, fouled back. Meyer chasing it. It's out of play. Evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's also only given up 2 hits in his last 5 1/3 innings. Last pitch July 5th, got the save in that game. An inning, a hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. It's not a guy who's really going to strike you out. He'll just sort of kind of find a way to get those outs.
2-2 pitch. Another foul ball down the third base side. Stays alive with the 2-2 count. And his fastball is really kind of what is getting batters lately. He even, a couple of games ago, touched 97. One fastball is against the Pilots. 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Kind of reminds me of a Jonathan Papelbon back from the days when he was with the Red Sox and he was just lights out in like 2006, 7, 8.
2-2 pitch. Ground ball down the first base side. That is fair. It gets back to the wall. Urbanowitz rounds first, heads into second. The throw in by Newell holds up with a leadoff double for the Oilers. And that was just a line drive shot down that first base side. It hit the wall. It was so hard. And Newell able to just prevent Urbanowitz from heading into third for the triple. And so Urbanowitz now the go-ahead run at second, and Miles Jones, the shortstop, at the plate. Jones 2 for 3 with a single in the first, a walk in the fourth, a strikeout in the fifth, and another single in the sixth. Arobio sets for the first pitch. Swings at the first pitch, and it's a foul down the third base side, strike one. There's a nice little gap in left center field. Frost playing a couple steps over to our right. No balls and one strike to Jones. Here's the pitch, curveball in there. Strike two.
Nasty slider right there from Arobio. A lot of movement on that.
Urbanowitz with a lead off of second. 0-2 pitch by Arobio. Swung on, ground ball to Conley, the third baseman. Fields it, throw to first. He's safe. The throw by Conley was a little off, and Decker had to kind of go down in the splits to try and catch it, and throw not in time. And Jones with the single.
Oh, that was just such a close play. Jones has a lot of speed, and that's the only reason he beat that out. That was a good play and a good throw. Throw was a little off target, maybe a little, not by much, but not surprised.
Yeah, Jones is very, very quick. You know, he already has 9 stolen bases on the season. So he's at first, Urbanowitz on second, and Ethan McGill at the plate. First pitch by Arobio, swung on, fouled on the third base side, strike one, and McGill is 1 for 4. Had a single in the fifth and has grounded out or fly out in his other 3 at-bats. Has 11 RBIs and 2 doubles on the season.
Nobody out.
0-1 count. Here's the pitch. Low and away, ball one.
And the bust for the Oilers is just arriving back at Herman Brothers Field. If you see that moving out toward center and now toward left, but with a tying run at the plate, this one may not be over.
1-1 pitch. Little high, ball 2. And the Miners faithful voicing their opinions on that last call. 2-1 pitch by Arobio. That's a called strike. Evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still nobody out here in the top of the ninth. The Miners lead 11-8. Fans still hanging around. 829 was the official attendance tonight. Great showing for Miners baseball. Here's the 2-2 pitch by Arobio. Swung, ground ball right back to him over the mound. Blazer flips it to Panachone and gets the double play. That's a 4-6-3 double play, and quickly the Miners are 1 out away from winning this game over the Oilers.
Yeah, just 1 out away from taking the season series. It's knotted up at 2 games apiece right now. Each team has won 1 game at home and won another one on the opponent's turf.
Brings up Nick Thurman. Thurman 1 for 4. The lefty with the open stance. First pitch, swung on, fouled on the third base side, and all 4 of these batters so far in the top of the ninth have swung at the first pitch and fouled it back to the third base side. Alex Urbanowitz, though, moved to third off of that double play. 0-1 pitch. Swung ground ball up to center field. Urbanowitz scores. with the RBI single by Nick Thurman. That was just a hard hit ground ball up into center field. So now it is an 11-9 ball game with 2 outs here.
Now batting second baseman number 50, AJ.
Top of the 9th, and the Miners are trying to close the book on this one. AJ Hernandez at the plate now 0 for 4 with flyouts. Flyouts to center field to the first baseman Decker and the second baseman Blazer. First pitch by Robio, low, ball 1.
This is unlike Vince, but I mean, he's got that double play ball. This hasn't gotten out of hand. He's actually been pretty solid, but we're just so used to seeing him lights out, just batter out, batter out, batter out.
Like
3 up, 3 down.
3 up, yeah, exactly. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, lifted into shallow left field. Going back for it is Wunderlich. Makes the catch, and that's a ball game, folks. Miners win 11-9 over the Oilers. After a great start, a rocky middle of the game, 4, 5, and 6 innings, Vince Arobio and Ryan Oglesby, the 2 outstanding pitchers for the Miners, able to put them down, and Miners get another win on the season after this one, 11-9, and we'll take a short break and bring you Taylor's Take along with our player of the game. Stick with us. We'll be right back after this.
Back here on the Matsu Miners postgame show, the Miners beat the Oilers 11-9, and they win the season series 3-2. And Emma, it was the offense that got started quickly, and Sevi Romo got a spot start. Didn't seem to pitch too poorly, but it was the bullpen. And we're gonna actually finish up this postgame show when we're done with Taylor's take, and we'll be right back with head coach Ben Taylor.
Hi, Mandy. She's in Phoenix, so she can pay attention now. It's not 4 hours time difference.
But isn't she coming?
Soon.
All right. Well,
yeah, we're on air. It's cool.
all right. Well,
It's summer baseball. ESPN.
well, we want to make it the best as possible.
Yeah, people don't want to say hi to my wife. Okay, let's go.
All right. So your team gets an 11-9 win. Sevi Romo another start. Didn't pitch too poorly, but it seemed like the bullpen was a little out of it today.
Yeah, I wanted to go Johnny Holstaff tonight. Sevi was going to go 3 innings. Maybe 4 had I known we were going to stretch the lead. I got to get these guys into some positions to succeed, the relievers. Ideally to get some guys some confidence. Some guys were shaky. But you know what? There was a lot of pressure on – they put a lot of pressure on themselves tonight, and deservedly so. We got to bounce back. We're a good baseball team. And some things had to happen. And guys really care. And it wasn't a deal of guys were nervous or, they were all tight. They wanted to win for each other, and they wanted to hold leads. And, I'm proud of my baseball team.
It seems like you guys, of course, had a little bit of a rough stretch, and then you took 1 of 2 down in Kenai, and yesterday, of course, that game got rained out, but it was a rough start, down 3-1. But it seems like during batting practice, you guys were more loose, and just seemed so much more comfortable taking batting practice and everything.
Well, I don't want to jinx myself, but we can't play any worse than we did on that stretch. You know what I mean? And Sweet talked about it. It's like you got to go. You got to figure it out. If you're a good team, you got to play like a good team. And we have some time left, but we don't have a lot of time left. I think we got 15 left after tonight, and we got to take advantage of those, and we got to go. And my old pitching coach from Texas and Robbie McClellan, the Chiz and I used to say, we got to go get hot. We got to go get hot as something, and we got to get hot as something. And tonight was a game you can get really hot after.
The bats seem to really just pick up. The bats have been quiet, but they seem to just really pick up tonight, especially Nick Blazer. He had a big day, 3 for 4, and Cameron Frost. You got everything from him, defense and that big hit, and he's our player of the game.
Yeah, they competed. That's the biggest difference tonight is they competed every pitch of the at-bat, darn near every pitch of the ball game. And that's what good big school Division I baseball players, which these guys are, that's what they do. And that's what's expected of them. And tonight they met expectations, and let's go.
And talking about the bullpen, did you decide to use more of your lefties because of this mostly lefty lineup for the Oilers?
Emma, yes. Yes, they were dominantly left-handed, so we stacked the 3 left-handed relievers. It didn't quite go as planned, but so be it.
And a lot more kind of small ball, looking at the bunts, and Conley had a sac bunt and then a sac fly. As you said, they're kind of playing for each other. Conley had 2 sacrifice and moved the runners and had an RBI.
Yeah, we actually bunted tonight. It was kind of I hate doing it, but we had to do it, and Conley handles the bat real well. And I'll give him a lot of credit, too. That's a dude that sat on the bench a ton, and I probably should play him more in some spots, and he's never complained. He's never pouted. That dude comes out to early work every day, offensive and defensive. And you know what? He played really well tonight, and I'm proud of him for it.
And another quick start. Were you kind of telling the team to maybe get started early, get on the board earlier?
Yeah, well, we saw the rain start to come. It's like, we better go. If this thing starts to rain, we got to get this thing in 5 because this is the last time we're going to play Kenai.
And Loker had another home run. He's kind of been in a little bit of something. We've seen him strike out a lot lately, and then also Frost getting back on track. So how big were those hits for Loker and Frost?
They're huge. Like Frost, here's the thing. Frost has been slider to death. He's been chasey for the last 10 days, punching out. And you know what? Sometimes guys just get tired of not playing very good. And that's what it is Cameron's tired. He got tired of it, and he wanted to make an adjustment. And he laid off 2 really good pitches in that last at-bat when he railed that ball into the gap. And those were 2 pitches 3 or 4 days ago he probably swings at and punches out. And then, you understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm really on what he did right there.
And also, a few games back, we noticed that he was swinging a lot at the first pitch. Was that maybe a more aggressive style going out, attacking that first pitch?
Yeah, and I don't mind that as much because he was getting – the problem is he was getting so many breaking balls to hit. He might get only 1 fastball in at bat, so he was having to take his reps, and he was getting caught in between with his rhythm and blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's a conversation for another day, but he'd done a good job for himself.
And Vince seems to really be stepping up. It's that back end of the bullpen of Ryan Oglesby and Vince Robio. They seem to just really – it's like, hey, we need a strikeout, we need an out.
The 2 paisans, man, Vinny and Luigi. Those guys come in and they pump 90+, with a little slide ball. I mean, it's great. Now we just got to figure out who's going to bridge to those guys, and we go from there.
All right, that'll wrap up Taylor's take. Again, the Miners win 11-9 against the Oilers, and they take the season series against the Oilers. How's that feel?
It feels good to win a series. Winning series is like the best thing ever. Yeah.
All right, Coach, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you on Wednesday.
All right.
And we'll be right back with our player of the game. All right, there you see him, our player of the game, Cameron Frost, a center fielder from Washington State. Cameron, definitely a big game, defense, and it seems like your bat's on track.
Yeah, it is. It's been a cold streak for me because I've been chasing so many sliders and stuff. And my last at bat, I finally took 2 sliders I would usually swing at, and it's because I just relaxed my body and just slowed everything down. So it's coming back. It's coming back.
And that catch out there in center.
That was.
Did you know you were capable of doing that?
I did not, to be honest. I knew I had a good read on it, but the ball kept carrying and stuff. Then Cam Newell kept saying I had room, so I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna go for it. Just kept my eye on it, and just looked at it and just caught it in my glove. It was just like, all right.
So did that catch kind of propel you and really get some good adrenaline going for the rest of the game?
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially turning a double play too. I didn't know it was a turn double play. I thought the guy went back to tag, but then I just threw it in. I saw him throw it to first, and I was surprised I got a double play on it, but it's good.
So what does this team need to keep going? Of course, a series win against the Oilers, that's got to be huge for the confidence for you to have that catch and then to have the big hit. That certainly has to be a boost of confidence for you moving forward. 2 games against the Chinooks coming up.
Yeah.
What does this team need to keep doing just to get back in that win column? Of course, this is another win, and it's technically 2 straight, but the losing streak, I guess, has snapped right for now, but what needs to keep going?
Our energy is a big part. Ben Taylor talks about energy probably mostly every day, and if we from this game and we take from the energy of us coming back, then it should pull us forward to just keep winning and stuff, get back on a winning streak, and it's just what we gotta do, just have energy.
And the eye black. That's
eye black. Yeah.
Is every starter wearing it?
Yeah, every starter's wearing it. It's the new thing that Josh Meyer decided to do, and I haven't worn eye black since high school, and it was a change. We'll probably keep this, honestly.
Sort of like
that's what I was gonna see. If you're gonna
like the Red Sox with a beard, something like that, just sort of rally behind it and keep on going.
Exactly. I mean, if we figure out something new, just like eye black, for instance, and we're winning and just have all the energy and coming back from this game, then we'll probably keep it.
Yeah. You don't mess with a win streak.
Exactly.
So what are you gonna look for with the pitches going forward? You're gonna keep watching that slider?
Yes, I am. I'm going to watch the slider away for when I get 0-2, 1-2 and stuff, because that's when they usually throw it. But, I mean, if a slider is just hanging and stuff, then I'll explode on it. because, I mean, sliders and fastballs are kind of similar. I mean, fastballs are a little faster and sliders do slide, but it just comes right in your bat, so.
All right, that'll wrap up our player of the game, Cameron Frost. Congratulations, good game, and enjoy the day off. We'll see you on Wednesday.
All right, thank you.
And we'll be right back and wrap up the Matsu Miners post-game show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. I guess I've just earned myself a Cameron Frost autographed baseball right there. Big game for him. Big game for the Miners. Again, the pitching shaky. They're going to try to figure that out. That bridge of Robio and Oglesby, it's dynamite. It really is. It's the spark that just keeps these guys going. And, of course, the eye black. We'll have to see if that carries on. The Miners have won 2 straight against the Oilers. A day off, and then 2 games against the Chinooks at friendly Herman Brothers Field. Once again, the final score, the Miners beat the Oilers 11-9. And for Emma Tiedemann and Austin Pollock, once again, the final score, the Miners beat the Oilers 11-9. We'll be back at 6:45 on Wednesday with the Matsu Miners pregame show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. The Miners take on the Chinooks at 7 o'clock, and an off day tomorrow, and we'll see you on Wednesday.